Alright, yo, this is Giuliano Argenti, and this is Hank the Tank. So Saturday of this week, there's a UFC card, and this UFC card is fucking headlined by Kamaru Usman fighting Joaquin Buckley, which is probably the last time, we'll see somebody purged, against the new blood in the welterweight division.
Yeah, in the end, the old generation's gone.
Yeah, I think so. The rest of the card is like, it's actually kind of a weird card, to be honest.
Yeah,
but,
I hear these people
like it,
all the time, like, oh man, this card's stacked to high heaven. Oh, this is a delight after the last pay-per-view. The last pay-per-view was pretty damn good, in my opinion.
Yeah, it was. It was great, actually. Yeah, I think people bitch too much.
And now, honestly, I don't really have a lot of finish.
You on? What is that?
Yeah, I'm on.
No, I said, what did you say?
I said I don't have a lot of finishes on this thing. I got like probably eight decisions.
Forgetting chops for a second, I think you and I have a few disagreements, actually.
A few.
This is like, yeah, I'm pretty sure. But yo, you want to start? Like,
yeah, sure.
From stacked from actually the bottom up, face down. So, all right, first fight is.
We got Venessa Demopoulous taking on Jamey-Lyn Horth. I think that Horth is going to win this one pretty clearly by decision. I don't think we're going to get a Venessa Demopoulous robbery where she just jumps into Michael Bisping's arms. I did it! Yay! Everybody loves Venessa Demopoulous. I don't think we're going to get that. I think the era of that is long behind the little monster. I think Jamey-Lyn Horth is a pretty... She's bottom of the pack, but she's good at what she does, which is like wrestling and just asserting her strength and her size over her opponents. Venessa Demopoulous, she got taken down, out-grappled pretty handily by Talita Alencar, who I honestly didn't beat her ass as much as she did.
I think Alencar should not, that was just her just failing Demopoulous. There's no reason she should have lost that fight. I mean, Jamey-Lyn Horth is huge huge is relative. 5'7" at flyweight,
yeah.
I see her just straight up overpowering Venessa Demopoulous. If Alencar could do it, her grappling is just way better. She split decision against Petrovic, which, should probably not have been split. I think,
didn't she lose to Juliana Miller recently? Ivana Petrovic?
No, she lost to Miranda Maverick, who I think is,
No, I mean, Ivana Petrovic lost to Juliana.
Yeah, that was another fucking abomination. But Jamey-Lyn Horth back in I remember this correctly. She had this LFA fight. She was 2021, but she was all finishes until she entered the fucking UFC, which is
that's always how
it works. The story of a lot of people.
They're big time finishers, and then once they get into the UFC, it's just split decision. All the finishing.
I realized that I let myself be. I went 10 for 13 last Saturday. And,
I did too. We had the exact same predictions.
Oh, did we?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Patchy Mix is somebody that I knew was gonna lose, and then I, without realizing it, allowed myself to be. I'm watching tape on him, right? And I'm without taking into account something that people just completely sometimes completely disregard, other times don't, factor in as much or whatever, right? Like, which is somebody's first fight in the octagon in the UFC. People are like, oh, what, the shape? It's like, oh, yeah, actually, yes. Like, whether it's that or anything else, especially on an Apex card where you got a smaller octagon. It's
Yeah.
like, Navajo Sterling, he's won his fights since he entered the UFC. But like, even guys like that coming off the contender stage, it's a different, it's a different game. That's what makes the ones like Kevin Vallejos and, what's his name? Gautier, people like that. You should
David
come in.
Martinez.
Yeah. And Del Valle too.
Yadir Duvall. I was surprised that he got a finish so quickly. He did really well in that fight.
Yeah, I saw him doing it. That was the card I swept. I did not see Gabe Green getting his finish. But it happens. But anyway, dude, yeah, I have Horth too. I mean, I don't see Venessa Demopoulous winning a fight, and not in the UFC anyway. I mean, she's
not in the year of our Lord 2025.
She's headed for PFL. She's just like, she's completely defenseless against somebody who just pushes any kind of pace on her.
Yeah. She was ready to enter the GFL. She had the Gianni the Greek connection there, but unfortunately didn't work out for her.
Oh my god. Dude, that's it. Like, he's on my chopping block. But Demopoulous also has a comically small reach. Anytime I look at a tail, the tail is 59 inches.
Makes it miraculous that she's had so many decisions go her way.
Has she really though?
Not so many, but enough where you're just like, why is this happening?
The Emily Cody.
Yeah. And then Barada after that.
She's acted relatively.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, Horth wins this fight by being the less mediocre. We should move up the card. Nice fight. This is weird. This fight's strange to figure out.
Yeah. We have Phil Rowe taking on Ange Loosa. And Ange Loosa, I've heard from different predictors, like, he looks pretty decent early on unless he's fighting Brian Battle, and then over time he starts to slow down and the pace starts to get slow and he starts to lose, the accuracy of his striking and his game gets way less technical, and then you actually got a shot at beating him as the fight goes on. Gabriel Bonfim, like, I from what I recall, that fight really didn't involve a lot of wrestling at all. It was just like back and forth on the feet they went, and like Bonfim sort of barely outpointed Ange Loosa and won a decision.
It's interesting because Gabriel Bonfim stubbed Chaos Williams, but
styles make fights. It all depends on the opponent sometimes.
I don't know if I'm trying, like, remembering that fight.
It was a really boring affair.
Yeah, for sure. But I'm trying to think of Ange Loosa even had a round. Beating Reese McGee was that's probably his best win. And like
AJ Fletcher before that.
Yeah, definitely. I think though, why I'm gonna have to go with Ange Loosa is that Phil Rowe, he's 10-5 and Ange Loosa's 10-4. You can't go by their WMMS records, but dude, it's the Phil Rowe has knockout power, but he hasn't. He hasn't won a fight to knock out. The people he's knocked out are you got Nico Price is the most impressive. Like,
bottom level. Yeah.
It's very he lost to Gabe Green, which is rough.
At some point.
Dave Matthews beat him most recently, like a year ago. He's got, he just the thing about Phil Rowe. He just doesn't. He's not he just seems not to be technical. He seems he's like a brawler more than anything. The way that the way that Loosa fights is very like, it's sporadic bursts of strikes. I don't know that I almost doubt that this fight will end in a finish, but like
It could.
it definitely could. I just don't, I don't see Ange getting clipped by Phil Rowe. I think Phil Rowe, like, he had so many knockouts early on because he was fighting, essentially he was fighting cans, and all he had to do was land on them once or twice. But and I mean, Ange does, I mean, he can wrestle a little bit, which is probably more than Phil Rowe is going to be able to. In a clinch, Ange has the edge. He could take Phil Rowe to the ground if he wanted to, if he had to stall out around, which I don't endorse. But
when's the last time I've seen Ange shoot a takedown?
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not something he would normally do. But if he
needed
to, I mean, Phil Rowe's not a sturdy fighter either. Neil Magny did, what he tries to do all the time, which is like just rush someone against the cage and take them to the ground.
Yeah, that was it honestly felt like they were just mirrors of each other in that fight. They were literally the exact same height with the exact same reach, and they were like doing the exact same form of offense against each other. That's why it was like a split, because both guys weren't doing anything that impressive.
Yeah, I mean, Phil Rowe landed a takedown. I mean, they both had I think, they had a dominant round each, and then it was that was and that's a wash, Magny too.
Right.
Jake Matthews fought
or something. Oh no, that was Mike Malott. Mike Malott was his last win, right?
What? Magny?
Neil Magny. Yeah.
No. He fraud checked him a lot. Then he got finished in the first round, first by Carlos Protest, and then by Michael Morales.
Right. I'm saying Malott was his last win.
Oh, it was Malott. Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah. No, yeah. Neil Magny used to be good, dude. People
forget, man.
Yeah. I like, bro. Anytime it's like I have to stop myself and just go like people, and then there'll be like a plot, and I'll just be like, a lot of people don't know, or people don't remember. Yeah. It's like
Neil Magny's made of mahogany. He's a marauder.
Who said that?
It's all Guru's impression of Joe Roganisms, basically.
You see,
absolute savage. He's a ninja. All that stuff.
Dude, so all right, so listen, like the thing with Guru and Rogan is like, so I watched Guru's recap video of 316, and like, he was like, if you don't remember on 316, what's his name was decimating the leg of it was the first fight, Medeiros. He's taking apart. The dude's leg was like, it was agony to the touch by the second round, and like, and Guru's like, oh, I bet Joe Rogan loved this fight, and it's just like, I mean, dude, honestly, it's like Rogan's commentary is better than most.
It isn't too bad.
I mean,
good analyst.
I mean, and it's like if you ever train fucking, I mean, Muay Thai specifically, but kickbox, any kind of kickboxing, you know how much fucking, like an unchecked calf kick hurts? Like, it's incomprehensibly painful. That's why.
I've had friends tell me stories about buddies of theirs who were being assholes, and they like challenged them to like a fight in the backyard. And one of my buddies kicked this dude in the leg, and he like instantly went down. Just a couple kicks, and he was just on the ground wailing in pain.
Dude, it
was Markel Medeiros, by the way. It wasn't Gutierrez. It was Markel Medeiros.
No, I said Medeiros, yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you said Chris Gutierrez. Whoops.
No. Chris Gutierrez, he won that. He won that robbery against Castaneda somewhat recently.
Yeah.
No, that wasn't really a robbery. I was just pissed off because I picked Castaneda. But yeah, no. Anyway, yeah. The reason I think Ange Loosa is gonna, I mean, probably outpoint Phil Rowe. Is he's basically he's smaller and sturdier. He gets inside. He throws a lot of strikes. He does hit he's gonna hit him in the body. Yeah. I hope. I mean, fighters have not done what they should do recently, like Spivak. But there's always a chance of that. There's always a chance that somebody goes Vitor Petrino and feeds their neck to their opponent, or But honestly, it's hard. It's you trying to see the fight in your head, dude. Like I don't see Phil Rowe in it at all. Like
I actually have Rowe by decision. Nice. I think the boxing of Phil Rowe is pretty underrated. I think that on Loosa, like I said, he starts out the fight doing pretty well, and then over time he just starts to look more sloppy in the striking. I think he's going to come at Phil Rowe with a bunch of flurries and all that, but then Phil Rowe at one point is going to hit him with a very accurate shot that's like, oh, okay, that made up for the big flurries that Ange Loosa was doing that were hitting the guard and whatnot. So I think the power difference. I also think he had a close fight with Neil Magny. I get he was washed, but still, that's a split. That's not too bad a loss. And then with Jake Matthews, he was mostly like getting the takedowns, just having an absolute dogfight with Phil Rowe, and that's why he won. I don't see the dog in Ange Loosa, no Izzy. I just don't think he's as hungry for the win as Jake Matthews is going to be. I think over time, Phil Rowe is just going to get better and better as the fight goes on, and then Ange Loosa is going to sort of look worse and worse. So for that reason, I think he's going to just edge it out. Either way, I think this is a very close fight.
Yeah. No, I mean it's possible. You're saying that Phil Rowe's going to land, but the Carlos Prates method, where
I mean he's pretty lanky. He can find his shots.
No, No, he is. He is, but I mean, in my mind, especially the way that Phil Rowe fights is just too inconsistent. It's like Ange Loosa is very much like, just about speed and just as many just landing strikes, and he'll go, but he'll go to the body, he'll throw uppercuts, and he goes up the middle against Rowe, who is taller, but 6'3", 5'10".
Yeah. His shot selection could be good enough to do it for sure. I just don't think that Phil Rowe's on the same level as an AJ Fletcher or Reese McKee. I think he's better than those two guys.
Yeah, it's hard to say, dude. It's like, he's, if Ange Loosa wins in any kind of dominant fashion, he'll finally get an opponent where it'll be like, all right, this guy is definitely his hardest opponent. Right now, it's just like,
He's got to seal it for sure. I mean, he's lost his last fight, and the other one he was getting effed up by Battle and sort of pretended like, oh, he poked me. That's why he had to stop it. It wasn't because I was getting absolutely demolished.
I mean, it was irritating that went to no contest.
Yeah. I hate it like that whole fight card sucked. I just recall it being so fucking bad.
I don't know, man. I think that for sure, but I think that a lot of the time, aside from Henry Cejudo, against Song Yadong and a couple other ones, a lot of people question the legitimacy of injury. Like when Victor Henry took a fucking kick right to the dick and balls, and he's telling the doctor it's all dick and balls, please take me to the hospital.
Yeah.
And the doctor's arguing with him. It's like, bro, people have a hard time having sympathy for subjective physical pain when
I'll never have sympathy for Cody Brundage, that's for sure.
It's taking those elbows right to the back of the head.
Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah, when you got 2 no contests, like sort of back to back, you know, that's no coincidence.
I mean, yeah, all that should be allowed, though. I mean, in my opinion, I think soccer case should be allowed in the UFC.
Base
performance bonuses.
Yeah,
it's different. Yeah, that's a whole other conversation. But anyway, yeah. I mean, I think Ange Loosa wins. You got Phil Rowe. We'll see, dude. Cheers.
Sure.
All right, nice fight.
We have got Ricky Simone taking on Cameron Smotherman, who subbed in for who was it? Someone came. Quickly on short notice, and then Smotherman came in.
He did well on short notice in his debut, and then he lost to Surrey City in his last fight
against Jake Hadley. He did very well, and now Jake Hadley's actually doing damn well in PFL with the Scottish twister he had recently. It was Charles Jourdain pulled out with an eye injury, apparently.
Oh, yeah, it was going to be Jourdain. See, that would have been a much harder fight for Ricky Simone. Ricky Simone lost to my boy Vinicius Oliveira, but I can't
fault him for that.
No, but I think
he didn't look good in that fight, to be sure.
No, he looked terrible, but I think he beats his last fight though, he looked really good.
I think so too.
Yeah. Well,
absolutely destroyed Bacherat. He bashed her at that time.
Yeah, didn't Bacherat, and Bacherat, that was the still undefeated Bacherat, right?
Yeah, and then he just knocked him straight out. That
was the other Bacherat was undefeated, and Ayman Zahabi.
You saw his spirit literally exit and then re-enter his body after that knockout from Ricky Simone. His eyes were like, oh, I'm back.
He was out cold. Yeah,
that was so cool.
Dude, both Bacherats, they've had their O's taken by Ayman Zahabi, right? And Ricky
Ariel Helwani.
That's rough.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's taking a name for himself. Good for Zahabi, man. I didn't expect it.
Yeah, Zahabi, dude. I honestly, I mean, I always thought Zahabi was underrated. To Jose Aldo.
UFC booking team is breaking my heart every time they match up Aldo with somebody.
I mean, dude, I think he never should have gone out of bantamweight.
Yeah,
people always bring up early fights of bantamweight of his, but it's just like, I mean, does he deserve better than people that he can't beat? Like, but anyway, Ricky Simone, Cameron Smotherman. I think, dude, I don't know. I mean, Smotherman really, it kind of reminds me of what's his name? Was it Junior Dos Santos that came in on short notice in his debut against Manel Kopp, and he was like a step behind Kopp, and everyone was excited. Felipe Dos. Did I say Junior Dos Santos?
Yeah, you said JDS. It's understandable. It's getting late,
dude,
guys.
I'm on a road trip in Fargo, North Dakota.
That could happen. That's reasonable.
Yeah, no, it'll thank God for this coffee will kick in a second. Just I said Junior Dos Santos.
Giuliano.
All right, hold on. Jesus fuck. Okay. All right. Why does Ricky Simone beat Cameron Smotherman? He beats Cameron Smotherman because Smotherman, turned out to be trash, in a fight that he argued. Honestly, it's like Surrey City is not. Surrey City is not terrible, but the way that Smotherman,
the
way that
society actually managed to beat an opponent not by split decision.
Dude, he killed Jake Hadley, that
was very impressive. But
and on very short
Hadley didn't really strike.
Yeah, I have no idea. I mean, I just it's gonna be Ricky Simone. Yeah, there's no. I mean, I didn't even mock him. I mean, has Smotherman ever been finished?
He was, and it was in the worst opponent possible. It was Charalampos Gregorio, the guy from Cyprus, just knocked him out in a minute.
Oh yeah, Gregorio, yeah, and then he was knocked out early in his regional career too in 13 seconds. Yeah, on the
That's
contender,
embarrassing.
yeah, his first contender series fight. Okay, I remember. Yeah, and then he
No,
went to Fury Challenger Series, and then he fought. Yeah, he got an Anaconda choke in Fury FC, and then
against a 4-6 guy.
yeah. He's oh god, dude, he looked ass against Surrey City.
He did.
Anger. But
I actually have
yeah.
Ricky Simone knocking him out in the second round.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so. If he can do that to Basharat in a plant on a with all the notice,
was the first round there. Wasn't it? Or no?
I think it was. Maybe it was first or second. But I feel like just because Smotherman's young, he's gonna withstand a little bit, and then I think Ricky Simone's just gonna bink, bank, bump, and down he goes. I think he's gonna figure him out over time. Like this dude allowed himself to go 5 rounds with Song Yadong without getting finished. So I think Simone is underrated.
I mean, I think he's rated correctly. I think Cameron Smotherman just isn't good. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, he is. He's not good against strikers.
I mean, he hasn't really been tested against a grappler.
Simone has both. Like he's got both weapons on him for this.
Yeah, Simone's a lock. I'm like, I mean, there's no like in my mind. I'm like, okay, Simone definitely wins. Is he a lock? Yeah.
I certainly think Simone's better than latter days Jake Hadley.
Yeah. Well, of course. But dude. Simone, Simone has endless, ability to all right, so Simone, you're saying Simone. All right. So the next fight is Cody Durden versus Jose Ochoa. This fight's weird to me. But I mean, do you want to go first? Because I'm taking Cody Durden out of out of what's a more complete knowledge, just by way of him having had more fights, and his strengths and weaknesses being known. Versus Ochoa, Cody Durden he gave Joshua Van trouble. And if you want to do some shitty MMA math, like fly Bruno Silva, who Van just styled on, finished Durden.
Well, I'd actually say that Joshua Van was sort of kicking Durden's butt for most of that thing.
Yeah, no,
towards the end of it.
Durden definitely, made him. I think Durden had a round against him, or arguably at least.
Maybe, but you got to understand that everybody has a round against Joshua Van early on, and then over time he just gets better and better, like Peter Yan.
With every fight he's definitely improving. My point though is that Cody Durden is, he does make adjustments. He's not a good striker, but Jose Ochoa is just like, there's nothing in any of his fights, man. There's a submission threat that, it's like, does Ochoa have anything for that?
He submitted a 5-0 guy with an anaconda choke like a year ago.
And what though?
LFA.
Yeah.
Okay. Everything else was just like knockouts and stuff. But I think I'm honestly going to pick Jose Ochoa. I'm going to pick him by decision against Cody Durden, just based on that performance against Loner Kavanaugh alone on short.
I think, and that was both of their debuts, no?
Yeah, it was. Loner had technically more experience with the UFC because he was on Contender Series, and he got that huge.
Series, I don't rate that. But
I get it, but it was short notice for. It wasn't short notice, I think, for Kavanaugh. I think he was supposed to be fighting against somebody else, and then Ochoa just sort of stepped in. But Ochoa did very well against him. I think he was sort of matching Kavanaugh blow for blow on the feet, and then I think it came down to the wrestling. But even then, Kavanaugh wasn't really able to do much with the wrestling once he got Ochoa down. Now you could argue like, oh, but Durden's going to find like the Darce choke, and then he's going to put in the Darce choke again, and then put in the Darce choke again a different way. But
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like he lost to Bruno Silva, and he was out grappling him, and oh man, he's styling on him, and then Silva, bam, big shot. Durden's in trouble. He's on the back foot. Ulanbekov, I understand him losing clearly, but then, dude, even Schnell was beating him up. In that first round, Schnell was beating him up.
Yeah, but that's that's sub though. I mean, like,
yeah, he got it on Matt Schnell though.
No, yeah, I know, and I mean, dude, Schnell versus Jimmy Flick was one of the most like.
That was just.
I mean, I had Schnell and he won, but goddamn, if that was not.
I got it. Yeah, Schnell is. He's got to get some good opponents, or else he's in trouble. And then with Joshua, again, he got absolutely styled on.
Dude, he needs to run away from good opponents, bro. Every good opponent he's had is
what I mean is
highlight reel.
What I mean is opponents that are good for him, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, well, they gave him Jimmy Flick, and he struggled all the way to a
for sure.
decision.
Yeah, but I just think Ochoa's pretty good on the feet. I think he's going to definitely be the one out striking Cody Durden here. I think Durden's best shot is like trying to submit him, because if he doesn't do that, I think Ochoa is going to get right back to his feet and then just keep on piecing up Cody Durden. That's why I think Ochoa is going to make it all the way. In my opinion, you could argue he could have beaten Loner Kavanaugh, which is super impressive in my opinion, because everybody thought Loner was going to be like the flyweight of the future, and then oh shit, you almost lost to Jose Ochoa.
I don't think he was ever going to beat him. I think that Kavanaugh, like I say, it's like somebody's first fight in the octagon is like definitely a test. I think Kavanaugh is going to look a lot better in his next. Well, actually, has he fought since then? No, right?
He hasn't fought since then, which it's strange. Like, there are certain fighters that you're like, you expect them to have sort of a quick turnaround, and then they're gone for like a year.
I mean, that was only in March, but still, I mean, I would say, oh no, he did fight. He fought Felipe dos Santos, yeah, and he
that's right. That was another close one, yeah.
Not really. I mean,
yeah, but you gotta say like
dos Santos had that one round with the Sabotons.
Yeah, there's going to be a fighter down the line that is going to give him trouble, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, for sure. But anyway, you think Jose Ochoa beats Durden?
I think so. I think he's pretty solid on the feet. I think Durden's weakness has always been his striking, and if he can't find the sub, then he's in deep trouble, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think I could see him. I mean, I just think that his takedowns are gonna be. He knows how to strike into a takedown in a way that somebody as young as Ochoa. I mean, that. He's 24, but he's not a Joshua Van 24.
Right. Durden, he's super entertaining to watch with his takedowns and his grappling ability. It's just he just has a tough time like executing it and like just finishing the job, in my opinion. I think that's always just a problem.
What I think about that though is like, I mean, Jose Ochoa. I mean, I could see a potential like couple of scrambles if he gets Ochoa to the ground, but I mean, if it goes, I could see a decision for Durden. Just
could happen.
And it could be boring. In terms of like stalling it out again, either against the cage or on the ground. I mean. Where you got basically an entire round of Ochoa just stopping different submissions. But, and I hate to say this because I don't necessarily put much stock in it and usually don't ever, but like, Durden does need to win.
He does. He really does.
I think, I
is he ranked at flyweight anymore?
What? No, he's not ranked.
Durden
not ranked. He got Bruno Silva and then Joshua Van both stepped over and to get into the rank. Yeah. You got the Neil Magny treatment. Yeah.
Poor Neil Magny.
But well, I mean, he didn't go out without checking Mike Malott.
Yeah, at least he can brag about that on it. I beat that guy one time. Is he at the bar? Actually, he beat quite a few guys. For one time, I was the gatekeeper, kids.
Neil Magny was actually he had a little bit of a hate in it, but
yeah,
I mean, he didn't go out well. I
remember like Daniel Rodriguez was like putting it on him, and then Magny found like a third round finish at the very end.
Oh. Yeah, dude. He used to be, he used to be definitely more formidable. I mean,
doesn't he still have the record number of wins for welterweight or something?
I think, yeah, he does.
Yeah, so he can hang his hat on that.
That'll be broken by Shavkat for sure. Anyway, though, yeah, I'm thinking Cody Durden. You're gonna go. Hank is going with Ochoa.
Should be fun regardless.
So put your money on Durden. So, all right, dude.
I'm the D-Gen parlay for this predictions video.
Well, I mean, Durden's not a lock for sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, I just think that he's gonna have a game plan going into this. He's gonna be very careful, and as soon as he has an opportunity to, he's gonna try to get into the ground.
Yeah. I think we're gonna have a good amount of agreements from here on out.
Well, definitely not on this next fight, which is incredibly difficult to call. Almost impossible. Total fucking coin toss. Malcolm Wellmaker versus Kris fucking Moutinho. Yeah, I mean Malcolm Wellmaker. I mean it's not a question of whether he wins. It's a question of like, will the line move down from minus 2,500?
Right.
Yeah, no. Wellmaker after. I mean, a lot of people come in and look amazing in their debuts, and then go on to not just the way he beat Cameron Simon, right?
Incredible.
Yeah, and Simon, dude, Cameron Simon, maybe he's washed, but
that's so sad to even think about, given he's like 23, 24 years old.
It happens, man.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you think about who he's lost to. I mean, Christian Rodriguez, Peyton Talbot, Wellmaker. Those aren't terrible losses.
Those will be prospects for sure. But he's just been given a bad hand over and over again.
Yeah, but like he had potential to, I mean that the Talbot fight was, that it's like which one of these guys is the guy, and then Talbot got checked by Barcelos, but
yeah, nobody's the guy at bantamweight except Merab.
Dude, Merab beats everybody.
Yeah, kill everybody, brother. He's the real Kamzat.
Dude, the fact that I don't care about tangents, by the way, my prediction video. So the fact that Merab was he had this. He waited for Aldo not to have the belt anymore. He waited for O'Malley's layup first title defense. Comes in, he dominates O'Malley. Yes, in the first fight, he did dominate O'Malley. Yeah, in the first fight.
The first mid-fight kiss in UFC history.
Then he's got 4 months to prepare for arguably the only person in the division that's a threat to him, and wins. And then and then gets his first sub against O'Malley in a rematch.
Yeah, he just gets better and better, man.
Dude, I don't know if it's even that. I think he's always been capable of things that we just haven't seen yet.
Yeah. I think that Henry Cejudo fight made me doubt him a little bit because he got cracked by Henry in the first round. But
bro, he almost got finished by Marlon Moraes, and then he turns around and he's like, all right.
Yeah,
like,
that was insane. I don't know how he came back from that.
He can't. Not only did he come back from that, he knocked him out in the second round. I think Murad is like,
he is the machine.
Dude, Murad is just like a guy who's like, all right, like you want to finish in this fight that badly, like I'll give it to you, like you know, it's just all right,
fine, I'll do it, but only because you asked for it. I didn't want to. I wanted to 50-45 you know, but okay.
Dude, just the way that he played, like he plays with like he carried Henry Cejudo over his shoulder, like you know,
I love it when he does that.
There's, I mean, you know, tussling O'Malley's hair and like you know, it's just all this.
Yeah, messing with them.
But,
all right, you two.
But anyway, so you know, speaking of that weight class, so Kris Moutinho, who's definitely on a title run coming out of Combat Zone and then Cage Titans. He's got, I mean, you know, he's got a bunch of finishes in promotions that, you know, now he was in the UFC in 2021 and 2022. He got knocked out both times, both of those fights. No third fight. He was cut in 2022. He didn't fight again for a year. Wound up in Combat Zone. You know, and he's had all finishes since then. 2 subs, 3 TKOs. But I mean, he lost to Sean O'Malley in the UFC.
Yeah, very memorable. When I think of Sean O'Malley, I think of that fight of just that green-haired guy getting beaten up over and over and over and over again.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, you know, it took him till like less than 30 seconds in the third round, but then Guido Canetti knocked him out in the first round.
That's not great.
Yeah,
that's what tells me that Malcolm Wellmaker is going to knock him out in the first round.
Malcolm Wellmaker is definitely. I mean, I don't normally like to mix like betting, you know, anything to do with betting into a prediction video. That's why I have betting videos after that. But I mean, you know, Wellmaker by first round knockout is definitely not plus money. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's like how else would this go? I mean, what is Moutinho gonna do? Like, what is he gonna do?
He's gonna try what that guy, I think Vincent Morales is gonna try to do. Like, oh, I'm gonna try to take him down and do some weird submission on him, and then it's not gonna work, and then Wellmaker is just gonna knock him out like that.
Yeah, I don't. I feel like if he gets close to Wellmaker, it's just like. I mean, but you know what?
The death touch.
Dude, what an upset though.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm rooting for Kris, but if he won, like I wouldn't be sad at all. I'd be like very happy for him.
Oh, I'd be sad. I'm logging Wellmaker. I mean, you know.
Yeah. Well, obviously you'd be.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be sad. I'd be sad for. I'd feel all kinds of negative emotions.
You go into a deep depression. A scoop of ice cream in the shower.
No, I feel negative emotions in the moment during a fight and screaming, and then I'd be, you know,
and then it's online blackjack, right?
No, fucking not.
Oh,
no, dude, someone started that fucking rumor. No, dude, like, I mean, online blackjack is, you know, I mean, not that I'm not, you know, the king of blackjack in general, but you know, the whatever rumor, I guess I'll call it. Yeah. That, like, you know, if I'm playing blackjack, it's because I'm down for something. Usually, actually, because you know, I'm trying to get my winnings after a card up to a squared off number, so that exactly. You know, when I request a payout.
Yeah.
What?
It's a funny theory, though. It's a funny theory.
Yeah, no, for sure. You know what? Actually, I'm lying my fucking ass off. I can't help myself.
It's an addiction. Yeah.
It's an addiction. Yeah. In fact, like not only am I down, I'm so far in the red. I'm taking out loans and
Yeah.
and I just can't seem to.
Begging the Sharks for some money, and then next thing you know, you got to flee the state.
Dude, that's somebody else's story, dude.
I see.
But,
Well, I mean, man, I'll be your bodyguard in that case.
Yeah, I'm good. I think I can handle like that to like what's funny actually, dude, like there's no like people really think that like people don't know that like how odds makers work. Like the odds makers are people. They get paid out of what's called the vig, right? They don't care. But it's like what are the odds makers thinking? It's like what they're thinking about is how they can get the most people to bet in general. They don't care if you win or lose. Okay, the more people bet, the more people put money into their their gambling sites.
Just like advertisers. Just like advertisers.
Right. Exactly. So it's like they'll set drastic betting lines, right? Because they know that there's enough people that are just gonna go, they're gonna spam underdog bets. If somebody has a fan base, they'll open them at plus money.
Yeah.
Like things like that.
YouTubers and bettors and professional gamblers who tried to make their viewers bite the hook on a bunch of underdogs for no reason.
Well, I mean, dude, I'm sorry to say to people who are fans of Lucrative James or Angela from We Want Picks or like or anyone anybody who sells picks, talks about prop bets, just fails you consistently. Matty Bets is one. There's no professional gambler on MMA YouTube besides me. That's just the fact. Like, leave your comments below. Please press me on that. But I mean, if you know, you know. But anyway, dude, Malcolm Wellmaker.
Yeah.
I mean, do we even need to? He's gonna cut a rug all over Moutinho. I already forgot his name. Kris
Moutinho.
Moutinho's corpse.
Yeah, I'll always remember the Guru quote when O'Malley knocked out Aljo. Moutinho did better. Moutinho did better than Aljamain Sterling.
I mean,
technically,
doesn't mean shit now. I mean, dude, yeah, but like, I mean, it's like it's like saying that Cheeto did better.
Poor Aljo.
Cheeto did better than Marab, like,
Yeah.
Did he though? Like,
from bantamweight goat to Moutinho did better.
Well, yeah. So Kris Moutinho's gonna die.
Poor guy. That green hair is going red.
It's red in the picture.
Huh.
Is it green now?
It was green before. Okay. So you can disguise the blood. Got it.
Yeah. Didn't someone actually? Was it Elvis Brenner that like dyed his hair red?
No, he dyed it like pure white. He looked like an old man at like 20 years old.
No, he had it white for a while, but I think it was red in the Alvarez fight. It was like pinkish red though.
Yeah. And I think Garbrandt cut him on like the very top of his head. It looked like his whole skull was like split open. And then he just comes back and knocks out Graham. That was such a cool fight.
Yeah. But Alvarez finishing him and then Oralby beating him. And then Oralby rising from the dead in the third round of that Rebecca fight and then getting robbed. But still Oralby though.
Yeah. Oralby.
That's who I want to see next, but before that happens, I have to watch the next fight, which is
Michael Chiesa taking on Court McGee. Michael Chiesa submitted Tony Ferguson in one round and then submitted Max Griffin I don't know if it was just as quickly, but pretty quickly as well. He's been on a hot streak after suffering loss after loss after loss to a bunch of prospects, getting dark.
A bunch of prospects. I mean, dude, Sean Brady, Kevin Holland. I mean, Kevin Holland subbed him. Sean Brady couldn't finish him. He got subbed by
This is when we thought that Sean Brady sucked.
Well, he got subbed by a still in his prime Vicente Luque. He beat Neil Magny when Neil Magny was at his prime.
Right.
Which was, I mean, you're talking about January 2021.
Yeah.
But,
and then meanwhile, Court McGee loses to Alex Morono. Actually, what I remember from that fight is that fight was closer than people thought it would be. And then Alex Morono found the win against
Alex Morono has started to physically melt to where his body looks like it's, and I don't know what that is, because Alex Morono wasn't always terrible, but I mean, he is now.
Before that, Matt Brown made him look like a jobber and just found the right hook. Bam, down goes Court McGee.
Jeremiah Wells knocked him out too.
Yeah, but then Tim Means, we think, oh man, this might be a close fight. Both these guys, similar ages, entries, and then he takes him down neck crank.
I was furious that Tim Means lost that fight.
Yeah, I was too. That is not a fight you lose.
The thing with Court McGee,
I actually think that this is going to be like a reverse Court McGee Tim Means, where instead of Court McGee taking down Case is immediately going to take down Court and just sub him up in round one. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I mean, there's, Court McGee though. I mean, Court McGee his first sub in 14 years against Tim Means.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, that's Tim Means, who's 41 years old, and
Uros Medic knocked him out with an uppercut in round one.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he also had that knockout against I forgot who.
It was Yaga, right? I think.
It was Andre Fiallo.
Oh yeah, Fiallo. Yeah. Same garbage.
Yeah, no.
But broken clock is right twice a day, and Court McGee found a submission for the first time in his entire career.
No, it was the second time, but not in 14 years. Yeah, his he in his debut in the UFC in 2010 against Ryan Jensen.
God, this dude's he's like mosquito and amber, fossils below the.
I mean, that's why they're giving him
yeah.
I mean, Chiesa has more than he's got half his body in commentating.
I think because Michael Chiesa is in an ESPN role right now, they're giving him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Chiesa. But I mean, the Max. I didn't expect a finish against Max Garbrandt.
Yeah, pretty damn good.
Yeah,
I think Chiesa's starting to find the groove again.
I mean, yeah, and it's like, how much longer is he gonna fight? But at the same time, Court McGee, who's even older, is like, I mean, it's like, yeah, he got a win over Tim Means, who was like 42. Court McGee's 40. He's 37. I mean, it's
When Chiesa fought Holland, I think like in a promo, he literally said, "Dude, I still got what it takes to be a champion." When he was fighting Kevin Holland. I don't know if he still has that mentality or not, if it's an easy paycheck.
The Anthony Smith delusion.
Yes, exactly. Dude, I can chin Bilal Muhammad, man. I got that Canelo boxing. I can knock out Bilal. And I can knock out Shavkat, you guys.
I mean, bro, yeah.
That'd be even more if Michael Chiesa said that.
Yeah, no, dude. People say a lot of dumb shit, but like, there are a couple of. I mean, Jamal Hill is probably eating his fucking dumbass words more than anything. But you can't. How do you not love him?
He's probably eating some fatty food right now.
Jamal Hill.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I think he loses to Roundtree. I mean, Jamal Hill had, by the time Gover's share lasted a long time.
Yeah. Dude, Khalil Roundtree is absolutely explosive, dude. He's going to time a strike perfect on Roundtree.
Put prey on the ground. And, Yeah, I think. But anyway, back to this card. Yeah, I think Chiesa subs Court McGee. I mean, there's no reason for him to stand and strike.
Yeah, no way. He's gonna like lean against Court McGee on the fence and then drags him down. He's got him.
Yeah, I think he could take. I think he could just get a takedown straight up.
Yeah, if he wanted to. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know how. When I say I don't know, by the way, I mean I don't know how Chiesa exactly wins. Probably almost certainly by sub, but he's gonna beat Carnegie. Carnegie's got Carnegie's. He'll lose this fight, and he'll probably fight maybe he's the next guy to fight Tony Ferguson. Is Ferguson officially retired yet? Probably not, right?
He still wants to fight Dylan Dennis.
And,
I don't know where the heck that's going to be, but yeah.
Is he gone? He's cut from the UFC now.
It's always Tony time, Giuliano. It's always Tony time.
Yes, my good friend Paradox would contradict that, and he would do it by sending a link to what is perhaps the best video about the downfall of Tony Ferguson ever made. It's not Tony time by Paradox.
He's eating tiramisu on Tuesdays.
Huh?
He's eating tiramisu on Tuesdays. That's what Ferguson said of Khabib. But
yeah, that fight that never happened back when Tony Ferguson was good. It was a day that hardly anyone remembers, and after one more fight, it's a Mandela effect at that point.
Exactly.
But anyway, all right. So Chiesa by, so I don't normally like to call it props, but Chiesa by sub, yeah, against Carnegie. All right, next fight, Hank.
We've got Paul Craig taking on Rodolfo Bellato, and in my opinion, this should probably be the most obvious result of all time. Paul Craig is just nothing burger on the feet. I get that he took Bo Nickel the distance, and oh man, God, how bad is Bo Nickel? But there was a clear height difference between the two. Whereas Rodolfo Bellato, let's see, they're both the same height here. I feel like his chin's right in range for Bellato to just swing wildly and just put Craig out, just like Johnny Walker did. So I think it's going to be like Johnny Walker round one knockout. Maybe Craig takes down at some point, but nah.
I don't know about round one just because Bellato. I mean, Paul Craig it's like Paul. There's Paul Craig's another one. Not as drastic as Tony Ferguson, but where his prime, is so badly overshadowed. But but
you also got to consider that this fight's taking place at light heavyweight, whereas Paul Craig's last couple fights were at middleweight. So there's a higher susceptibility to him being chinned here.
Yeah, dude, Johnny Walker threw a kick that Craig caught, and then standing on like a flamingo on one foot, Johnny Walker just hook. It was like
he has some of the funniest KOs and him being KO'd ever.
Dude, Johnny Walker, that was one of Johnny Walker's most impressive finishes. I don't know what those balloon things that blow in the air outside of car dealership.
The wacky inflatable tube, man, when he fell backwards after Jamal hit him on the top.
Speeds highlight really chaos to other fighters. I wish Mirzakanov would have fought, gotten a fight him. Mirzakanov was a ranked opponent immediately. Yeah, he's 36 and he's
absolutely. That was terrible booking for him for his last opponent.
Walker fell out, bringing Riviere.
I get it.
But he did exactly what he was supposed to do against Riviere.
Yeah, I had him by round one knockout. It happened.
Dude, I want Mirzakanov versus Rakic. Rakic he does not belong anywhere near.
Yeah.
Was he still 6th or something?
I think so. Somewhere around there. It could be 7th. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll check that.
No, that fight needs to happen. But anyway, all right, Bellato versus Craig. Dude, it's just at this point, Paul Craig. Bellato He's gonna try not. I mean, Paul Craig gets into the ground. There's problems, but I mean,
Well, you remember there was that fight where, oh god, who was it? I think it was Ihor Potieria, like had him down on the ground and he was beating him up, and we're like, oh my god, this fight's gonna stop. Bellato's gonna find a way to lose to Ihor Potieria, and he survived for like 2 or 3 minutes and then just came right back and knocked him out.
Yeah, I mean, Ihor Potieria, that's the guy I almost feel bad for. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just, I mean.
Yep, Rakic is number 6.
Yeah, please, Mirzakhanov versus Rakic. Mirzakhanov will kill him. Yeah, no, Europe and I mean, the separations in the Cesar Almeida fight were just, it was just corruption. I mean, dude, I mean, I have nothing wrong with separating guys that are just clenching against the cage, but, like, the ref wouldn't let Peteria set up shit. Although I think Almeida would have won regardless. But, yeah, Bellato coming off the Peteria knockout, and then, yeah, his debut was Murtaza Talal, then the Bahrainian guy that's not Shamil Gaziev. Yeah, he was undefeated coming off Brave, going into that fight. They were both debuting. Or no, that was Contender Series actually. And then going back to the 2 LFA fights that Bellato had for the UFC. That, I mean, those are both grappling. I mean, the triangle choke. So I did rewatch a couple of his regional fights. He did get knocked out by Vitor Petrino a long time ago, but
not too bad.
Nah, I mean, yeah.
I mean, he hasn't looked great since, but he was a knockout machine back then.
Yeah, the thing that makes me extra certain that Bellato is going to be he's going to be fine, even if Craig is him on the ground, or his 2 submissions in LFA. He at least knows what to do, to not get submitted by Craig. Craig just isn't gonna. I mean, striking wise, Craig is completely doomed.
Docile. Yeah, he can't throw a punch.
And I don't think he gets a lot of the ground. I just don't think it happens.
I mean, usually he's winning the fight, on bottom with his triangle choke that he throws up. The only time he really beat someone on top was who was it? I think it was.
He takes people down to he takes
people down. Andre Meniz.
Yeah, I mean that's his most recent one, but I'm trying to think of the fight where Paul Craig to take somebody to the ground allows them to reverse the takedown mid mid falling to the ground, so that basically the guy's in his guard. Fuck, what fight was that? Can't remember. Also, the only guy he beat Jamal Hill, he beat Ankalaev. That Ankalaev submission was insane. In the last
Crazy.
Second of the fight.
Yeah, you're never going to be able to repeat that again.
Yeah, I mean, he'll always have that, to tell anyone that will listen when he's,
I beat that guy one time. There's old Lizzie at the bar.
Walking the streets of Glasgow, Scotland,
Let me tell you about a little story, laddie. There was this big-haired bloke.
Nah, dude, you gotta do a Scottish. See, Scottish accent is the ugliest accent of the English language is spoken in.
It's gargling marbles.
Like, it's like, well, Uncle Pop Didney is like Didney. Didney is like, but it's you ever read the book of Trainspotting where it's like written in phonetic Scottish? So you have to literally. You have to play
translated to the movie well, that's for sure.
Yeah, they cut out a lot of
for certain characters.
The film is fucking. That's one of the greatest films ever. But, anyway, but sadly, Paul Craig won't be representing Scotland the way that the film Trainspotting does.
No.
Rodolfo Bellato, like he's I mean, dude, maybe Bellato's. I mean, a draw against that draw
That's
like
embarrassing.
it's not. Honestly, it pissed me off. I would have rather he lost.
I mean, Crude has
But
a tendency to find draws with guys who should be absolutely smoking him, like with Alonzo Menifield.
Alonzo Menifield, another man on this card. So
Yeah.
let's get there. All right. So
Thank you, Hank, for the transition. The MMA gods are telling us.
yeah, dude, transitioning, man.
We got Alonzo Menifield taking on Oumar C. And
dude, all right,
Menifield,
go ahead. That's it.
Menifield honestly had a terrible performance against Julius Walker.
Yeah,
Just barely did anything. Almost lost.
People were talking about how Julius Walker was going to finish him. Nope.
Yeah. Nope. He found a way to get a decision there. But then Mirzakhanov shows him levels, knocks him out easy. And then before that, Olberg knocks him out because he pulled a Derek Brunson and rushed forward like an idiot. And
that was a great game plan by Olberg. But also by Mirzakhanov. I think Mirzakhanov, you had him. Your order was off. So the Walker fight was most recent. And,
yes.
And that was that. It's another case of like somebody's first fight in the UFC being, but against Oumar C. So Oumar C is he's French but not really, So that matters to me. His debut was
Will he surrender?
He fought anyone who's fought in KSW, I mean that's and he has an earlier fight in the Octagon. His KSW fights, especially the more recent one was both of them were definitely impressive, but his grappling at light heavyweight is crazy. Now against so in his debut against Hugo Tokos, that he had to do just it was basically in one round it was the equivalent of like Sean Brady versus Gastelum, where it was just it was establishing dominance until another man tapped.
Hey, he managed to finish Tuco Tacos when Navajo Sterling couldn't.
So Sterling's the guy that went stagnant, and it's like I've blocked him in his fight since, and he's won. But now
looking bad and wins is his specialty.
Yeah. Now, okay, so Oumar C, I was excited for his fight against Dawon Young, whichever order you want.
Dawon Jung.
Words in, who's not bad actually. And it was, he outstruck him. He didn't grapple. I mean, he shot. Well, let's see. He did land a takedown, at least one. But the grappling was minimal in that fight.
And one thing to consider is that Carlos Olberg also wasn't able to finish Dawon Jung when they had their fight. And then what happened after that? He knocks out Alonzo Menifield immediately.
Well, actually, Olberg did finish him with 10 seconds to spare.
Yeah, 10 seconds to spare, but it was a long fight.
And it was a sub, which is not necessarily Olberg's specialty. The thing is with Oumar C, it's his second fight in the UFC. He outstruck him. He struck a guy who's more of a striker than anything. And also, the way he beat Tuco Targos, just unrelenting. Inside of a round.
Yeah, just pounced on him. Yeah.
So,
just pounced on him quick.
Yeah,
Got him
yeah,
down. Easy as that.
exactly. And the thing is, and he's huge, dude.
Yeah, that's going to help him a lot in this fight.
He's like, I mean, he's got the exact. He's 6'4" with an 83-inch reach. It's an inch and a half reach less than John Jones, a light heavyweight. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, well, John Jones, I don't know. It's not like his arms grew because he became a heavyweight, but
Yeah.
I mean,
maybe something helped him, but we can't be sure.
The point is that, yeah, I mean, what is Menifield going to do? And this man,
Nothing.
he's going to
Can't
lose
finish
to a
Julius
Frenchman.
Walker. He's not finishing C.
I mean, yeah, what was his last finish? It was Jimmy Crude, actually.
Yeah,
Menifield's
with a guillotine out of nowhere. Joined the Gilly
Yeah.
Goose Gang.
Before that, it was a draw against Jimmy Crude. Yeah, I mean, the Dustin Jacoby fight was annoying, but
Never doubt Dustin Jacoby, man. He's always in it unless you're dealing with Dominic Reyes, the man.
Dominic Reyes is back, so dude. After what he did to Krylov, dude. I've said this once times. I want a revenge tour by Dominic Reyes. Just skirmish, run it back with Jan, who he will beat, especially Jan at this point.
Yeah.
And then run it back with Yuri for the fucking belts.
And then just Chin Magomed coming forward just puts him out like, I'm coming for you, John Jones. I'm going up a weight division. I'm Dominic Reyes.
No. I think Dominic Reyes gets a shot at the belt. I don't think that. Realistically, it's highly unlikely. I want it so badly because he should have held the light heavyweight belt,
Yeah.
But yeah, no, dude.
Injustice. I mean, this is what we get from the UFC.
But then he issued rough justice to Anthony Smith.
Yeah, except when a certain when a certain light heavyweight comes to town and he's scared to fight.
You could say the name, man. This isn't MMA.
It's John Jones.
Oh, you're talking about that, yeah.
I want FU money to fight Aspinall, okay? I'm living my best life.
Dude, that fight's going to happen, don't worry. It's already been agreed on, the money for sure. He's not going to dip out of a $30 million paycheck, especially the way that guy parents do money.
Just give me one more month with my boys in Thailand, Giuliano. Come on, that's unfair.
Well, Frankie, Fight Night Frankie, I'm afraid, we have panels to do. So,
nah.
Anyway, though, yeah, all right, dude. So, I mean, Menifield. I mean, how did you beat him, RC? I mean, Kitty.
I've got a guess.
Who, by the way, is he was undefeated 11-0, which was Mirzakhanov's record prior to that. I want to say impressive, but it's like it's Brenton Riviero, so it's like yeah, you're doing your job, like if you're but I mean, nonetheless, Umar's undefeated. She's fought in KSW twice against real opponents, I mean, Enrique de Silva, who he subbed in a round, I remember was not as good. Oh no, he was much better actually than the first opponent fought.
Yeah.
And then what was KF won? If I watched this fight, 22-13 opponent that he fought, was an old Brazilian dude that he fought in KOF, King of Fighters. I'll watch that fight just for the hell of it, probably. But I've seen his KSW fights. He had that earlier one that he won by TKO first round.
Right. Yeah. I think C's gonna knock him out in the second round.
I think he's gonna sub him, dude.
Yeah, could happen.
I mean, I think that's where he's better.
True. His reach advantage is going to be a problem for Alonzo too.
Yeah. his Muay Thai. I don't know if Oumar sees Muay Thai is. I mean, because like, a reach advantage against Alonzo Menifield like that would be best utilized by initiating a Muay Thai clinch and throwing
Right.
knees and then
Yeah.
getting the ground
Yeah.
that way.
That
I don't know
should
if
be his
that's how he's
next
gonna
step
do
in
it.
this game. Yeah. We'll see.
But yeah, dude, it's too much to me. Like,
Yep.
all
Sure.
right. So Cody Brundage coming off that sweet Julian Marquez victory, which actually, I mean that was one of those like that fight actually reminded me of Jared Gordon versus Marco Madsen, where it's like it's all in one round, but it's like an odyssey. It's going one way
Yeah.
definitively.
Reminds me of
goes
Nick Diaz versus who was that one guy in Strike Force, and he was like hurt Nick bad, and then Nick came back and just knocked him out at the very end of the first round. So it reminds me of that.
Yeah, that goddamn it. Who was that?
I remember my former
Nick Diaz.
podcast partner had a quiz show. Oh, it was something daily. I think it was. Who was the daily guy?
No, sorry. Yeah, did you see?
He had a question on his quiz show about who had that 1-round fight with Nick Diaz.
Did you see that Nick Diaz being stalked by somebody? And it's like,
oh, yeah, he got sent. And the stalker sent him to Mexico and put him behind bars and detained him, and he's still trying to get out.
really?
Yeah,
Paradox sent me a video on the stalking thing. I haven't
it's
watched
absolutely
it.
insane.
Yeah, I need to watch that.
Nick cannot help himself but get into crazy situations these days.
I mean, dude, it's like, dude, both the Diaz brothers are such necessary phenomenon. Like,
yeah, it was it was Paul Daly, great one. Well, that's one of the great 1-round fights ever.
Yeah. This was this is when he was this is when he was the welterweight champion. In Strike Force. Yeah, Paul and then he debuted in the UFC against BJ Penn and won. Right after that.
Where you at, George?
Yeah, he really and then after that he just went on that losing streak, bro. He didn't get finished though until he did that stupid ass he hadn't fought MMA in 6 years and then comes back against Robbie Lawler, gets knocked out.
Yeah.
I mean,
what could have been, man?
Dude, he was gonna come back and fight Vicente Luque, and then it got canceled. I was so happy.
Yeah,
because Vicente Luque deserved nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Like he doesn't even deserve, the best neurologist.
Jesus.
No.
Anyway, back to the fight.
Dude, don't get PG-13 on me.
I'm trying.
But yeah, back to the fight. Seriously, Cody Brundage, dude. I mean, every time you think that he's just absolutely terrible,
yeah,
he does something like slam KO Reese.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, now Julian Marquez is terrible, but it was impressive how Brundage survived what looked to be almost a finish coming, and then turned it around completely inside of a round and and won. That being said, he is unquestionably going to be defeated by Masur Abdul-Malik.
Yeah, I think so too.
And Abdul-Malik's undefeated. He's fought Todorovic, first round knockout. The Nick Klein fight, who is it that someone got replaced? Wait, was it who filled in for?
Let me check that really quick.
Yeah, there was because I remember one of them was a replacement for someone.
It was Antonio Tricoli. It was Broccoli. Antonio Tricoli.
Oh yeah, and Malik said after he beat Klein that he called Tricoli out for Yeah, dude.
That is the worst of the worst
Tricoli.
you'd be giving Malik.
Dude, Tricoli filed. Dude, Tricoli tried to sue him. This video could potentially get shadow banned for me bringing that up, but like that's
No,
that really happened. Antonio Tricoli, man. Yeah.
What a guy! What a guy! Antonio Tricoli.
He's he's gonna be in a cell calling Mackenzie Dern like after the broken up. I'm sorry, bail me out. He's headed for he's not even headed for PFL, dude. He's just he's headed for like Folsom prison or something. They're like attacking her ex-husband. It's like why
You're going down a rabbit hole right now,
dude. If you probably will never get a video shadow ban, which is not a bad thing, bro. Trust me.
Yeah, it's actually very good for you.
Yeah, it is. Like, I've had 3 things the 3 videos get shadow banned. And what happens is like, among other things, is like you get an email from YouTube that tells you like your policy violations, and a lot of the time they're bullshit. Like, but it also lists off the countries that your video is not available to be seen, and even if someone were to seek it out, and it's one thing I learned from that is that you can't you can't make like military analogies, like if you say like
no, don't give us an example.
You can't so you could say something's gonna be a war, but if you say like if you like, and you could say somebody's gonna be dropping bombs like your fist, but it's like, but if you say like if you keep going with military analogies, like you violate like some
wonderful. Oh God!
I mean,
what just happened? What just happened today? I don't. Even that might be crossing it.
Nah, you're fine. You're fine because you haven't been. No one's reported you probably.
I see.
Like, I mean, it's like once once it's like they'll put a magnifying glass on people who get once it happens once, it's like I tread lightly, or just accept
third time's the charm.
Yeah, or you could just accept the fact, accept YouTube for being gay and just do your shit. I mean, I'm talking to myself, not you.
I'm making a good mirror. So anyway, tell us about your father.
Well, he would
don't have to answer that question.
He would probably take in this next fight between Cody Garbrandt
and
Barcelos.
Smooth transition, right? That was good. That was good.
He would probably ask Cody Garbrandt. My father, I don't think, is a fan of. Wait, does Cody Garbrandt have that one really?
That dumb tattoo over his eye.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, but
I didn't give my prediction, by the way. Abdul-Malik round 1 knockout. I'm really some game here with my predictions.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you disagree on?
No, I think Masur Abdul-Malik destroys Cody Brundage. I think he's gonna finish what Julian Marquez started. Basic as that.
I mean, dude, Julian Marquez is.
How did he hurt Cody Brundage? Seriously, that dude gets chinned 24/7.
Yeah,
his profile picture on Tapology, Julian Marquez, is literally him with like blood like pouring down his face from getting hit so much.
The Cuban Missile Crisis, bro.
Yeah, we're dealing with one right now, but yeah,
dude,
not in Cuba.
Abdul-Malik is very good. I think he might break the rankings sooner or later.
Yeah, I think so. At middleweight, yeah, he'll find his way. I mean, if RoboCop can't find his way in there, he might be. The fact that he's young,
dude, that fight said more about Cannonier than it did,
about RoboCop. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, Cannonier is there. I mean, it's like he would have lost to a
Tough
Mavlov
gatekeeper.
anyway.
Yeah.
Sorry, well,
He's a tough gatekeeper to beat for anybody.
dude, he would have lost to a Mavlov anyway, but that wasn't an early stoppage, and
Yeah.
against Cannonier, he's just or rather Cannonier against Rodriguez.
Yeah,
Like,
given what he did to Izzy too, what was that, 2 rounds before he stopped Izzy? Like, that's impressive he made it that long.
Yeah.
So yeah, just old ass man at 40 years old, still destroying prospects.
Dude, he's go over to share at 40, not Tony Ferguson 40.
Nice, yeah.
But also, yeah. So of course, Abdul-Malik, it's just Cody Brundage. I mean, he got like 11-6 after. I mean, he's that's right. That's a razor's edge. As far as a man with a WMMA record, but
yeah. The question is, will Masur Abdul-Malik hit him to the back of the head or not? Will Brundage find an escape once again? Will Houdini escape from the box?
I mean, who was it? Al Hassan, who got flatlined here by Cesar Almeida. I bring that up because Paradox.
I love that finish, by the way. I reacted to that one live. That's like one of the most hype moments I've ever had reacting live.
I did too. I screamed, and I discussed Paradox's humiliation with him directly into my live stream.
Yeah. Sometimes the camera work really helps with the finish too. Like the camera was right up close, and then he got knocked out, and the camera followed him down to the canvas.
Yeah, and he was getting wobbled too, and then
it was amazing.
Yeah. But I mean, no contest. Yeah, at least they didn't give him a DQ loss. They gave to Malkin. When he just beat up Cody Brundage wrong, he didn't follow the rules. I mean honestly, it's like I get it's like you really give that dude.
Cody Brundage is just a rule keeper, guys. He's all about rules and regulations. That's why he does.
The thing is, he's not as terrible as people say, but Abdul-Malik, it's over. It's not
too powerful. He's good everywhere, except striking, maybe. All right, next fight.
Yeah, next fight. Striking. Cody Garbrandt. Raoni Barcelos, he just project Peyton Talbot. He is fat. I mean, he's 38. Though. It's like I mean, how long before it's like an Edson Barboza? Edson Barboza, who it's like, oh, he should be winning, but all of a sudden, no, this is the time. This is where the line is. Also, Cody Garbrandt's a totally different kind of fighter. And I think Cody Garbrandt would have beaten Peyton Talbot. I mean, see, the thing with Cody Garbrandt is he's got to have a good day, to enough of an extent. I mean, he's also vulnerable to submissions, although, I mean,
it was Figueiredo.
You really don't. I mean, you could say that you can really only base that off Figueiredo, but I mean, 5-round fight with Rob Font. Font got him down twice. Although Cody Garbrandt took him down too, and and Font, Font is not the guy to submit people. I mean, not really, but
he'll find some way to beat these prospects.
Yeah, I mean, TJ Dillashaw started bad,
Down spiral of Cody Garbrandt's chin.
Yeah, and I've always thought that the rematch, there should have been another fight before the rematch.
Yeah. It played out pretty much the exact same way.
Faster, dude.
Yeah.
But I mean, he knocked out Brian Kelleher Trevin Jones. It's just like
A fan basically helped book Cody Garbrandt to win by putting him against Brian Kelleher. Remember when the UFC had that big Booker sweepstakes competition? Anybody can book their next dream card, and you'll get to book a fight for the UFC. The guy who won that competition booked Cody Garbrandt against Brian Kelleher because he wanted Cody Garbrandt to win.
I mean, it works. He was coming off a win against Trevin Jones, which I'm trying to remember. That was when John Jones debuted at heavyweight. So I'm trying to remember that.
This is my cousin from another mother, Trevin. Go easy on Cody.
He's got two brothers that are both like way big. But,
yeah, football players, genetic freaks, sports athletes. Oh, my childhood was so bad, guys.
No, you grew up, middle class in Rochester, New York. More or less.
Yeah.
Cody Garbrandt, the Trevin Jones fight. Yeah, I do remember this. Yeah, he did 29-28, not, just barely a step ahead. I still think he knocked out Barcelos. I really do.
Oh, really?
I do. Man. I think he's fast. He has knockout power. He's really fast hands. He's gonna be well aware that Barcelos is gonna try to sub him. And I mean, think about how Barcelos beat Talbot. Dude, there was Rinya Nakamura and Peyton Talbot both got fraud checks, you could say, on that card.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I was so happy to see Nakamura get fraud checked, dude. He went from one punch knockout power to just the most unentertaining. What was it, bantamweight?
He fought he'd been training striking more, so he thought I'm Rinya Nakamura,
Dominic Reyes.
Yeah, it's just I'm Rinya Nakamura, I'm Kai Asakura because they definitely won't bring him to the UFC next. I'm gonna dye my hair pink and I'm gonna go in there and do whatever I want to whoever they put in front of me.
Yeah. And then his last opponent did whatever he wanted to him.
Well, no, he just pushed the pace on him and outstruck him and by halfway into the second round, Nakamura should have just been like, all right, let me resort to what I'm elite at. But
I had an example earlier in this video where I was wondering who's one of those fighters that lost and then we haven't heard from him in forever. And I was like, oh, I just thought of it, Peyton Talbot. We haven't seen him since Barcelos fight, man.
What was it in? It was January 3/11.
No. And then also, of course, Brian Ortega, who takes year-long breaks between fights.
I mean, he fought Diego Lopez not that long ago, right?
Yeah, but before that, he was gone for 2 years.
I thought didn't he? Wait, didn't he finish Yair Rodriguez and then he finished Yair Rodriguez?
He had that one period where he was taking. Back, but before that, he was gone forever.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brian Ortega, man. Him and Calvin Cade, Max Holloway really embarrassed both of them.
But you know what happens.
Showing Brian Ortega how to block, Oh God, man.
But you know what? I'm glad you asked, Giuliano. You know what happens when an eagle breaks its beak? It just grows it right back. The eagle it regrows the beak.
Yeah, that's true. By the way, I've seen it happen.
Yeah.
Only once, but if you saw a unicorn, right, and they're out there. Yeah. Even if there's no one else around, it's Yeah.
Giuliano saw Brian Ortega out in the wild regrow his beak.
Brian Ortega, man, it's just It's like I have no use for Brian Ortega or Yair. It's not Yair better than people think, but
You
like,
bore me, Brian Ortega.
well, it's like, I mean, by the way, do you know if Yair fighting for the belt is confirmed? It's not. That's not real, is it?
It is real.
Is it really?
It's happening. Yep, they're
Why would they not?
jumping the line from Mavzar.
Why again, dude? Mozart beat Diego Lopez. That happened, dude. Mozart he'll do what Marab did.
We want the badass fights, Giuliano. We want badass fights.
Yeah, I mean, Mozart's last fight against Aljo, so it's like, I'm sorry, was that not a good enough fight for people?
No. He was getting out grappled. I hate everything about this kid. All of a sudden, I'm rejecting a Dagestani title shot for some reason.
Dude, yeah, but he's gonna have to have a next fight, and in his next fight, he should just finish the fuck out of whoever.
Yeah, I thought they gave Mavzar some prospect that just got introduced to the UFC.
Oh yeah. No, he chose that. I thought I read there's some bloody elbow article that I read about that. When is that fight? That's
next fight. Let me check. Aaron Pico on May 17th. Wait.
May 17th.
What? Okay, that's off. But it's Aaron Pico regardless. I think the announcement came out in May.
Well, I mean,
he said he was ready to fight May 17th like a while ago or something.
Well, until then, dude.
Yeah.
Like, until then, there's always Cody Garbrandt versus Barcelos.
We got these two. Nice transition.
Like, you have, so like, Barcelos is old, not necessarily gonna win the fight for Garbrandt, but you know, it's just like, I mean, it's like, is he really? He's not outstriking Cody Garbrandt. It's not happening.
No, right? His key to victory here is on the ground, and I think he's going to do it, dude. I actually think I think Cody's going to stuff a few takedowns early on. And we're like, yes, Cody, good job. And then I think eventually Barcelos is going to get him down. I think he's going to wear Cody Garbrandt out in the grappling. I really do.
You don't think he's gonna? You don't think? I mean, he's not. Cody Garbrandt's not Oumar, but you don't think he's gonna? He's gonna be able to land.
I think he has a round
combinations. Be able to.
I think he has a round to do it, and if he doesn't do that, I think he's going to get out grappled for the rest of the fight. Because even Brian Kelleher was like, he pulls something on Cody. Watch out.
I can see. I can see it go the other way. Actually, I can see the first round. I can see Barcelos winning the first round by by taking him to the ground, not getting a submission, and then Garbrandt just being very careful and sniping shots.
Right. I hope it happens, dude. I'm hoping that Cody Garbrandt wins this thing. But I just think Barcelos is getting better and better at the wrestling, man.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see what happens.
Yeah. I made that mistake. Like, I wanted JDM to win, but dude, I'm like, all right, let me be realistic.
Peyton Talbot, like, he did, he does his own, like, videos on his YouTube channel, and he had, like, this
dude,
one.
I'm not into male server.
Vape up his butt. Commenting away with the vape up his bum. But Peyton Talbot did he did a clip where he was like, oh, Barcelos, he's like a spider with a million arms and a million legs. And he'll come at you at every single angle with the takedowns. And I was like, oh, man, Peyton Talbot knows what Barcelos' game is, so he's going to counter it. Nope. Didn't do it once in the fight, and he just got drowned. So if he can't figure out...
that was like... The reason I brought up Nakamura and him on that card is because both of them didn't realize until far too late, if at all, that like they were losing a fight that they thought was going to be easy. And in Nakamura's case, should have been if he decided to wrestle. But yeah, dude. I'm taking Cody Garbrandt. I don't think he can't afford to lose. Dude, he's 14-6.
Cannot afford to lose, my brother.
He really, and it's like, he is a fighter that, like, when he can't afford to lose a fight, like, I mean, there was no way he was going
Pulls
to
it
be
out the
figured.
fire. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
I
rooting
think
for it, dude.
Barcelos. What?
I'm rooting for it, dude. I'm rooting for it.
Mm.
But unfortunately, often the UFC dreams do not come true. The fairy tale ending does not happen. So
But they do eventually.
they
Uncle
do eventually.
Live,
You got to wait
Uncle
for
Live
it.
gets his title shot. Rowe gets his title
The fairy
shot.
tale ending.
But
On Ramadan, I got it, my brother. Dreams do come true, guys.
no, it's just like, because it's just like, oh, no one beats Alex Pereira at light heavyweight. Uncle Live does. Said it like a year out. But I mean, I get that, in that case, Poatan saved the, main events of 3 cards.
Yeah,
But like,
he saved the lineage of the light heavyweight title. He actually defended the damn thing.
well, sure. I mean, I hope the first title defense for Uncle Live's an immediate rematch, but so we can actually
all this Twitter drama about Pereira doesn't want to fight me. Oh, he wants to leave the UFC. I'm just getting sick of it. Just
that's probably true. I mean,
yeah.
who knows? Maybe they just can't come to an agreement on the fight. I deleted my Twitter, bro. I can't.
Yeah, I don't know.
Can't do that. But all right. So you're taking Barcelos. Yeah, I'm taking Cody Garbrandt, bro.
Yeah.
I see him playing. He finds Barcelos' chin. He's gonna be looking for it.
We'll see what happens.
All right. So next fight, Edmund Shabazian versus Andre Petrosky. I have no idea why anyone would believe that Petrosky has a chance, but then again, actually no. Then again, nothing. Shabazian looked maybe better than he's looked ever against. Against Dylan Buka. I mean,
the great Dylan Buka.
He looks good against Dobson too. And he's been active too. Relatively. He lost to his losses are very respectable too. Mearshart is respectable. Anthony Hernandez, that's a very
he's also the GOAT. Gerald Mearshart. He is the GOAT. The great GM3.
Yeah.
He is one of my favorite fighters. He's in my top 5 favorite fighters.
Fighter. I hate the way that he lost. He fought stupidly against Brad Tavares recently, but
true. But Brad Tavares, it's so hard to take that dude down. He has elite takedown defense.
One second.
No problem.
So, all right, sorry. All right. So basically, Shabazian, dude, he's not that old, right? And he's been in the UFC for a minute. He was just losing fights for a while, just really losing fights. He's only 27 years old, and then he's gotten. I'd like to say that he's gotten significantly better, although it's hard to tell. Just, Dobson and then Dylan Buka, but Andre Petrosky is just. What is he gonna do?
I don't think he's too bad.
He's not terrible, but he's not. They have an opponent in common, which is Dylan Buka.
Right.
Petrosky took Dylan Buka to a split decision. Josh Friends, or not, I'm sorry, unanimous decision, but still. Michelle Pereira finished him in a round, which is fine. Malkoon finished him in 2 rounds.
Via
Josh
his hip.
Friends.
Hit him in it with his hip bone right in the face. Just dived right into that man's hip. His hip did not lie at the end of the day. Put him right out.
Did you make a Shakira reference?
Yes, I did.
That's good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Rodolfo Vieira is who Petrosky beat last, and that was a victory that not a lot of people saw coming. And Vieira, but it was because Vieira fought stupidly,
Yeah. But then again, we don't think of Edmund Shabazian as the brightest tool in the shed when it comes to
like
IQ.
it's like Vieira should have grappled, whereas I mean, what is Shabazian? Shabazian's not gonna just decide to grapple, out of nowhere. He's not he's gonna strike with him. He's got more power. He's a better striker. I mean, I don't see it going any other way.
I see it going another way. I actually think I'm actually going to pick Petrosky by decision. Just because when I watched that GM3 fight, the way that Mearshart got the Golden Boy down to the ground, he just used a simple trip and he got him right down. And then he found this head and arm choke right after that. And it seems like over Edmund's career, like all the guys who end up beating him are really solid at wrestling. Like Anthony Hernandez, ground and pound, knocks him out.
Hernandez knocks him out.
Derek Brunson, ground and pound, knocks him out.
Yeah, I mean that's. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Except, Derek Brunson. That's so long ago. Like,
that's true.
I think that,
but can you say that his takedown defense has just improved over time? Because I think that's what's going to decide it here.
Petrosky though doesn't. He gets people down, but he doesn't. He's not
right. But he takes rounds.
Not looking for subs. He doesn't know them enough to to sub Dylan Bridge.
Yeah. But that's his whole game, If he finds a takedown, he's going to win the round. He's going to stay on top of you. He's going to beat him up.
Yeah, true. But I think it's just like Shabbat. It's like maybe, like I was saying with Garbrandt, it's like maybe the first round goes that way, and then Shabbat, and with Shabazian, he's got knockout power. Petrosky's nowhere near the striker he is, and he struck with Rodolfo Vieira. Like whose whole game plan should have been to take him down and submit him.
Yeah.
Petrosky, I'm saying.
But I've been picking Petrosky in his last 3 fights, and he hasn't let me down. I think.
How do you pick anyone, or how do you pick anyone to lose to Josh Friend and Dylan Bruce?
That's true. I do think his takedown against Vieira. I did pick him against Vieira.
That's a good pick.
Yeah. I just think his takedowns are very solid, if he finds it on Edmund in the first round, I think it's not gonna go well for him. Mm-hmm. That's my opinion. I could be dead wrong. Again, I hope that Edmund knocks him out cold because I actually don't really like the style of Andre Petrosky, but it is effective. So
he failed both takedown attempts against Rodolfo Vieira, and then landed less significant strikes somehow.
That was a matter of their two sort of BJJ grappling wrestling guys sort of going at it. So it's going to be more of like a kickboxing match,
Yeah, and then I'm trying to remember. Vieira had the round where he took him down, and then I guess Petrosky got back to his feet. Rodolfo Vieira just sucks, and
that's true.
In general, but,
yeah.
But Shabazian just he just shoved Dylan Bruce around until he finished him.
He could easily do that to Petrosky for sure.
He's got. Let me see if what's the the Petrosky versus Dylan Bruce fight. That's the fight I'm thinking of. Yeah.
I'll be right back. I just gotta go somewhere real quick. I'll be right back.
Give it up. Dude, I'm in Fargo, North Dakota, bro. It's just like a movie. Except it's not the winter. It makes a lot of things different. So it's pretty good, but look at this. This is the business center. Look at that. Look at the moose up there. All right. The lounge lobby is a lot nicer, but maybe I'll take you there on the live stream when this video is done. What are Hank's like? What's he got on the wall back there? See that Japanese painting? It's famous. Wow. Television. and 3 books. I can't see the title. See, you gotta respect Hank. See, Hank's reinvented himself. Like, no one else would have the balls to get up there.
All right.
Yeah,
All right,
I was saying how you've reinvented yourself. Like, I respect the balls, dude. It's like, yo, I gotta go deal with something. I'll be right back. Just come back. It was a pretty,
pretty gangster move, pretty baller, right?
Yeah, dude. You're on your way to taking over.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Like,
Try my best.
you don't let people know that, dude. It's effortless.
Thank you.
Don't lie. You're not trying your best. You're effortlessly taking over.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
that's the key.
I don't even
and
try.
One day you might decide to make. Yeah,
I'm in God mode right now.
The day that you decide to make an effort is a day that people should fear. Watching you. Fear, revere, look forward to.
It's like the meme, I'm only at 2% of my power. I'm way more powerful.
I don't know what meme specifically you're talking about, but there's several episodes.
Probably some Dragon Ball Z bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. You haven't even seen my final form, bro.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. Yeah.
Ready? Are you ready for a taste, though?
A little bit.
My goated underdog pick for this card.
Oh, you're kidding.
My underdog of the week, lock of the month, lucrative Giuliano coming at you with fucking fireworks to the octagon.
Trust.
Miranda Maverick's gonna be Rose Namajunas.
Boo.
No, dude. No, but really,
her striking is mid, and then she resorts to the takedown when her striking isn't successful. And
dude,
I feel like Rose Namajunas is going to step that stuff easy. You know?
I mean, yeah, except the problem with that is that, you know, she fights to win, if that makes sense.
That's true.
I was saying this about, well, actually, you know, let me not even bring
up. Are you calling her the women's flyweight Ian Gary?
No.
Oh, I see.
No, I'm calling her, I was about to say the Izzy.
Trust. He's gonna leave her frozen like Elsa.
No, she's never been finished. You know, and she lost. Her only loss in the. Her losses in the UFC are respectable, very respectable. Actually, you got Jasmine and Aaron Blanchfield. Like, she submitted. You know, she submitted Priscilla Cachoeira, which is Priscilla Cachoeira. She beat Deanna Barbosa. She beat Jamey-Lyn Horth. That was, 29-28, but, you know, she did, like, and Rose is just, like, yeah. She lost to Blanchfield. She lost to Menifield.
Yeah.
You know,
that was closer than people thought it was going to be.
I think Fierro versus Rose.
Pretty competitive. Carlos Esparza fight was absolutely rotten. It's one of the worst.
That's the other thing is Rose is one half of literally the worst MMA fight ever.
Yeah,
against Carlos Esparza.
I do think she has improved since then, or at least like shown more of an effort.
She went up to
punched Tracy Cortez's eyelash off her face.
Yeah, but Tracy Cortez has never been that good, to be honest. And she went up to flyweight, right? And she's 2-2 at flyweight, right?
Yeah.
Her first fight and most recent fight being the losses. And like Aaron Blanchfield, who would have beaten Macy Barber.
Yeah. Not a good look for her in that press conference.
Aaron Blanchfield, that was a 5-round fight.
Yeah. They're trying to torture us at this point. They enjoy being sadists to us.
Wait, is this Coleman 5 rounds?
No. I'm saying they gave us Blanchfield versus
Oh,
Barber
yeah.
5 rounds as the main event.
This is a co-main.
Yeah,
well,
only
Blanchard,
only 3. Yeah.
No, no. I'm saying it. So it was it was last November. It was Brandon Moreno versus Albazi. The co-main was Rose Namajunas versus Aaron Blanchfield. Then it was 5 rounds for God knows why.
Jesus.
But yeah, no, this is dude. I picked Miranda Maverick in all of her fights, or all of her fights. At least since last year,
Right.
like last calendar year.
Yeah.
If I check, I wouldn't have had her against Jasmine, but now you're going back like 2.5 years.
Yeah.
Dude, she lost lost a bullshit split decision to Macy Barber as well, but otherwise, Aaron Blanchfield and Jasmine both, neither one could finish her, and those are both, Aaron Blanchfield finishes people, not always. Jasmine.
It's been a while since she finished somebody. It was Jessica Andrade, I think. Yeah.
Jessica Andrade, yeah. But she beat Rose pretty well. And
That was a close
Jasmine
fight.
and Jasmine, Jasmine kind of barely beat Miranda Maverick. I mean that
that was a while ago. She hasn't faced a similar level of competition since, you could argue.
Yeah. Well, I mean, definitely not Andrea Lee. Gianni Barbosa, a little bit. I mean,
Horth
a little bit.
I don't know. I think she's just in for a rude surprise.
I mean, Rowe.
Awakening. Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, okay, so see the fight in your head. How does Rose win?
I've just never really been impressed with Miranda Maverick on the feet. Like, there's never been a moment where it's like, oh man, Miranda really tagged her up with that one. It's like, okay, she's swinging, they're swinging, it's back and forth. Oh, Maverick shoots the takedown. Oh, she got the round. I don't think.
Dude, we're talking about Rose Namajunas, WMMA poster strawweight career. I mean,
yeah, but I do think that Rose's striking is way better than Miranda's, and if she shoots the takedown, like Namajunas, we've seen for the last like 3 fights, 3 fights that she just stuffs it, and if anything, she actually finds herself on top of her opponents. She just scrambles. So I feel like if Maverick tries what she does with the other opponents, I feel like she's just going to flip her over. And then
she got taken down and controlled for 9 minutes by Aaron Blanchfield.
Yeah, but that's Aaron Blanchfield.
Yeah. No. Yeah, you're right.
I just don't think Maverick is that much of a menace on the ground.
I mean,
at least nothing that Rose has.
No, definitely. She's definitely not on the ground. But her striking's better, I think, than you're giving her credit for. Honestly.
Yeah, but I don't think it's enough to beat her.
I think, that Miranda Maverick, if she can get her in a Muay Thai clinch and throw knees, her knees are.
Miranda Maverick's the kind of fighter where she could try to throw a knee up the middle and just fall on her butt, and then Rose finds her way on top. She slips on banana peels a lot of the time in her fights. We're just like, what are you doing, Miranda Maverick? Oh, she slipped while she was trying a takedown. Oh, she threw a punch and then she fell over.
But when? I
think it was against Andrea Lee. Like, she tried something and then she just found herself on bottom.
Yeah, well, Andrea Lee is like who you just decide to I'm gonna try this shit I've been practicing in the gym because there's no way this bitch beats me anyway.
Right, yeah. But I've just seen moments where she's found herself on her back and just the wrestling does not work out for her. I feel like Namajunas is going to take full advantage of that.
I think, dude. Random Mavericks, she's barely ranked right now, but she's on about a 4 or 5 win streak. I think she's been preparing for Rose Namajunas, to step up. But I like her. That is a Miranda Maverick's a cool name, kind of, but also, she's been she has a way of just like winning the fight, like, and when I say winning the fight, like, I mean, she's the opposite of a fighter where it's like, it's like, dude, where was it's the third round, they're down two, and it's like, they got a minute and a half left, and then they start like,
Yeah.
and then it's like they almost finish the opponent but still lose. It's like, where was this earlier? It's like, she'll adjust and figure something out to.
Yeah.
I mean,
Rose has a lot of experience of, oh man, she needs this round to win. Oh, she finds herself on top.
Well, I mean,
there you go. She wins it.
Sure, but I don't see. Once again, it's like I can see it going the other way, where it's 1-1 going into the third.
Yeah. Could happen.
I mean, Miranda Maverick, though, by the way, in her last fight, dude, the takedown she got, against Jamey-Lyn Horth, was not bad.
She's no slouch for sure, but she's also primarily like a wrestler, whereas Namajunas is like a striker and then a counter grappler.
Well, Miranda Maverick also is Muay Thai fighter too.
Yeah, good workout, but I don't know. The fact that Rose Namajunas was able to punch the eyelashes off of Tracy Cortez tells me that her striking's pretty good.
No, dude, I mean, if you remember her strawweight.
Yeah, she knocked out Joanna Jędrzejczyk.
Yeah, that was, I mean, that's like her historic moment. Her counter historic moment to that would be the Carla Esparza fight. She lost that belt, but yeah, dude, I just, honestly, like,
we'll see.
I think Rose Namajunas she's washed early.
Oh,
maybe not. Tracy Cortez is also, I mean, she's another one that's like,
there's a lot of washed women's flyweights out there.
Although, I mean,
Rose just has a lot of experience. That's why I got to favor her here.
Yeah, I mean, I tell you, I mean, that's basically the argument, my argument for Cody Durden, against Ochoa, but
yeah.
But yeah, and by the way, like, I mean, not locking Miranda Maverick. I have locked Miranda Maverick in her last fight, and I mean, she 29-28 in her opponent, but it could have been worse. Obviously, could have lost. Like, but no, I'm gonna take Miranda Maverick. I think she's, I think she actually does have more power in her strikes, and
And, I'm going to take Pat Barry's girl by decision.
But yeah, dude, it's
Run, Rose.
Yeah, it's
Run.
gonna be. It's
Blink
gonna
twice
be
if you're okay.
Oh God, Rose Namajunas, man. It's like, like, I never want to see the last name Namajunas in the headline of a Fight Night again.
Yeah, me neither.
Thank God.
Pain in the ass.
They got it to come in. This card is not bad.
They did some dumb promo once of her like at a piano, like, oh my God, my life is so complex. In my career, it has so many accolades, and then she's playing a piano or something. So dumb.
Rose Namajunas?
Yeah, it shows her playing a piano.
Like a Sinead O'Connor.
It's a tragedy, and I was able to turn it into a purpose. And
well, I mean,
it's like she's a maestro, after Carla Esparza performance. Rose Namajunas, the great tactician.
Dude, that was, I mean, about Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan, I remember that the most memorable moment of that fight was when he was like, imagine telling somebody about MMA and you sit them down to be like, yo, you got to see what MMA is. And that's the fight.
Yeah. Yeah. They'll never watch another fight again.
Well, yeah, that's the implication. But yeah, main event, bro. So, tomorrow beats Buckley, title run. I'm joking. Joaquin Buckley is going to finish Kamaru Usman probably in the championship rounds, in my opinion.
Yeah. I got him by round 3 knockout. I think it's going to go a lot like the Colby Covington fight did, where Usman
called the round 3 knockout, even though it was a doctor stoppage. I still got that in that fight. But
yeah.
Come on.
I just feel like Usman's going to get very frustrated not getting the takedowns on Buckley, and even when he does, I think Buckley's just going to get right back up, and then Usman's just going to he's going to start finding himself on the back foot, and I think just like with Wonderboy Thompson, it's going to be like slowing down. He's starting to get up against the fence, and then
he was down. He was down Buckley against Wonderboy, and
exactly.
Suplexed him and got the finish. I mean, it was a very. You could compare that performance, not stylistically, but you could compare just like the down 2 rounds, needs a finish.
Yeah,
type,
he's like, really clutch when he needs to be. That's for sure.
Yeah. I was gonna say you could compare it to JDM versus Burns.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, that was an amazing moment. I was so relieved, dude.
Exactly, and I think I think that it's like Buckley. I mean, he was always going to be Covington, that was obvious. But, and Kamaru at he got to cut down. His last fight was bizarrely competitive against Hamzat at 185.
Yeah.
To be honest.
But the thing with Hamzat is that he's never been that impressive on the feet. Like, if he can't get the takedowns early, he's just going to be either swinging with you or just doing nothing impressive.
People say that, and I think though that he's gotten to a point where I don't, and also, well, actually, let me just say, like, Hamzat's quote unquote cardio problem. I mean, I don't really think it
he manages to survive. He just doesn't look the same. Round 1, Hamzat is unbeatable. Round 2 and 3, it's a different story.
Yeah, I mean that was true at 170 for sure. But anyway, I mean, dude, that fight's gonna be great. That DDP or something.
Yeah, at least we get one fight that we want.
Well, I mean, dude, it's like, dude, I think people bitch too much. I mean, think about the fights that have been. I mean, dude, Ankalaev Pereira was great. It's like, in terms of like pay-per-view main events, everyone wanted JDM versus Belal because Belal was champion, and like,
I think a lot of people wanted Belal versus Shavkat.
I mean, I think JD. Well, yeah, Shavkat will come take the belt from probably unless Islam vacates it, and I am saying that Islam.
I'd love to see Shavkat knock Islam right out. That'd be great.
Well, that and that would be. I mean, I'd like to see Shavkat.
A star would be born if Shavkat knocked out Islam.
Dude, I'd love to see Shavkat fight without a serious injury for once.
Yeah, I know.
It's torn MCL against Ian Gary. You know how much?
That's terrible.
I say this to people, so yeah, and he still won. I mean,
yeah.
First time he didn't finish somebody, actually.
Yeah, that Irish youngster just coasts his way through the division, man. So annoying.
Who?
Ian Gary.
I mean,
he's got cheat codes.
Like, dude, I mean, people give me shit, but like, bro, Ian Gary was almost dead. Like, another 20 seconds, he would have been finished at the end of that 5th round against Carlos Brundage. That's true.
Yeah.
And I mean,
might be the path to victory.
The thing is, like, Michael Morales beats Ian Gary. Sean Brady beats Ian Gary.
Please go.
Like,
God. Please.
JDM beats Ian Gary.
I actually think Ian Gary could give Jack Della Maddalena some problems.
I don't think so.
I think he's a great hybrid fighter.
Well, I mean, maybe with his like sort of like surface level of grappling, and I do call it surface level.
Yeah, he could frustrate him for sure.
Yeah. But he's not gonna get it. It's not like. I mean, I'm sorry. I wish JDM would just like was able to I mean, how does he not beat Islam? Or I mean, I'm sorry, how does he not lose to Islam?
We'll
Like,
see. He's got a chance.
yeah,
If he keeps training under Craig Jones, he might do very well.
yeah, but it's just like his grappling's never gonna be. I mean, Basil Hafez.
He's bigger than Islam, man. At 170.
Dude,
Even Dustin
Islam,
was giving Islam a tough fight before that fifth round.
Islam's, yeah, until he was subbed. I mean,
Yeah.
and Dustin Poirier is he's a fighter and there's fighters like this that improve between the ages of 30 and 35.
Mm-hmm.
And that was, and that was his last title shot.
And Max is gonna beat him up, I'm afraid to say.
That's probably true.
Yeah.
For the most important
fight of his career. Yeah.
Dude, that cartoon ass shit makes me so.
Yeah, exactly.
The main
Presented by The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. Go see The Smashing Machine live in theaters.
Bro, they had Mike Tyson doing promos for the Gacy Poirier. It's like, to me,
that's power that's present between these two warriors.
I met Mike Tyson one time.
Really?
In Las Vegas, just like in just like sort of the parking lot of the Bellagio. He was just he was there, and like there were like a couple of people like talking. Oh shit, that's Mike Tyson. He was really chill, but but I in my mind, right, I've thought once in a while about like what if I had done something retarded, like and like just you ever see like that podcast? I think it's his podcast, or it was, where it's like once you piss him off, there's no you're like you won't, you know what I mean?
You won't back down. It's just an argument.
A Tyson highlight reel, like KO highlight reel, or just a Tyson knockout compilation.
Yeah,
is better than a compilation, better but not much better than a compilation of Tyson just like not giving a fuck, or
biting people,
not letting go of shit in interviews, like.
I will say, I do love that clip of him introducing Naoya Inoue. You ever heard of the monster? Yeah, the monster, dude, he got incredible power. And then some boxing casuals like, no, what weight division is he? Oh, he's in bantamweight or something. That dude, he isn't facing anybody good,
Wait, that voice you just did. That's your average boxing casual, right?
It's some dude who was like a guest on the show.
This is from my.
And he's just like,
well, he's just one of the smaller guys. He's probably nobody's right.
Bro, the state of boxing, man, it's a whole other conversation.
Yeah, it's still kicking UFC's ass somehow, even though their cards are rotten.
Well, dude, people are. Dude, you know what's great is Black Combat. You should have told me about that first.
That is a good
obviously rising. Dude, one fight championship is always good.
Asian MMA is awesome.
More for the Muay Thai than one. But
yeah, for sure. Asian combat.
That's I don't want to say that. I mean, like Chiesa from the City Life Project. That is definitely his take and mine. Like I don't want to make it seem like
legalize knees to grounded opponents, people.
Oh yeah, no, it's soccer kicks.
Yeah.
But anyway, all right. So how does Joaquin Buckley beat Kamaru Usman? What do you think?
I think it just frustrates him. Eventually, Usman's going to start to back down on the feet. Eventually, Buckley's pressure is going to be too much. He's going to have Usman up against the fence, and then he's going to do his thing, dude. Head kick, punches and bunches, whatever way he wants to do it, dude. He's going to find a way. I don't know if he's going to knock him out. I think he's going to be more like, oh, man, Usman's covering up. Oh, he's trying to get away. Oh, the referee stops it. He stops it in between,
Yeah. Now, okay, so for me, I have to say that I mean, Usman's 38. Has he had his knees fixed yet?
No idea. It's probably going to pop if he wrestles with Gaethje.
The problem, see, it's like Joaquin Buckley is probably going to be able to take Usman down over and over. Probably. I don't think Usman's going to be able to stuff. He may be able to stuff a couple of takedowns, but I mean, his.
It's just constant pressure, dude. Constant offense, man. It's just hard to stop.
Yeah, Buckley. That is true with Buckley. He does not. And Buckley made the absolute right move moving down from middleweight. It's one of the best examples of like somebody, going up or down and like.
Yeah.
I mean,
changed his whole career.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I mean, from getting knocked out by Chris Curtis to
Evan Holland.
Yeah. Dude, so I'm trying to see. It's 4 years ago since Kamaru fought. Since Gilbert Burns had a title shot when Kamaru had the belt, and the thing about that fight, I think I went back and watched a bunch of Kamaru fights. Like that fight went very. How do I say it? I mean, that was one of Usman's most just unrelenting strike heavy, performances as champion. Like it just to me, it's like and that was he stuffed every did he stuff every takedown of France? I think he did.
Burns.
Yeah, no, Kamaru. So I'm saying when Kamaru was champion, right? He won the belt from Tyrone Woodley. The first Covington fight was his first title defense. Defending against Horth Masvidal and then Gilbert Burns.
Oh yeah, that's right.
The Gilbert Burns fight.
It was the Leon Edwards took him down. It was the first time he'd been taken down.
Yeah, I think that's true. Was it actually? Or wait, which?
I remember
which
John Anik called that when Leon reversed that little exchange they had, and oh man, down goes Usman. It's the first time he's been taken down in his career.
Yeah, that's and I'm trying to remember it. No, Covington didn't get him down once in either fight.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he did, but they didn't count it.
Wow. I mean,
because of course
the first fight was very, very. Covington tried to strike with him in the first fight. People don't remember how bad Colby Covington was in his supposed time. But yeah, bro, I just don't. I mean, it's hard to. I mean, I don't I'm not saying I even want Kamaru to win. I'm just trying to consider how is not a definite win for Joaquin Buckley? If
it's hard to argue.
It's like, how does Kamaru win this fight?
He's 38 years old. It's going to be tough.
Well, I mean, yeah, and for sure, that's definitely a thing that. I mean, he hasn't fought. I mean, it's just the Kamana fight was interesting. That was off a weight class, though. I mean, so you got to make weight for the 170 again. You got to see. I mean, his legs are trash because of because of his knees. That's a real thing.
Yeah,
and
I'm telling you, they're probably going to pop at some point while he's doing training sessions,
Well,
public training sessions.
I mean, that's the. I mean, I don't know. Is it? Do you know if it's true that he actually walks downstairs backwards?
I did not know that. I never heard about that.
Yeah, that's yeah, because like when you're walking, just think about when you're walking downhill, like a steep hill, or a steep flight of stairs.
Yeah.
Like I mean, it puts just a very slight amount of pressure on your knees, but
Yeah.
but
it is
yeah.
it is actually good for you to walk backwards down hills and steep surfaces.
Yeah, for sure. But also just like, dude, see, I'm trying to remember. So like, Joaquin Buckley has almost limitless options,
Yeah.
Like, that's what.
I mean, he could find a way to get Usman down if he wanted to.
I mean, I don't see why he wouldn't do that, because it's at the end of the day, like, he he could shoot takedowns until he stops wanting to shoot takedowns, and Kamar's tired from being, because it's like, Joaquin Buckley does, he'll shoot a lunging takedown. When he fought Ruzaboyev, that's how and Ruzaboyev, I think Ruzaboyev should never have caught a 170 at 6'5". Like, I mean, he had no power in that fight, but the way and the way Buckley defended takedowns against Colby was like completely masterful. Although Colby's not.
It's fantastic. Completely neutralized him.
Yeah,
So,
that was.
I mean, you can't tell me you can't do the same to Usman. He's got horrible knees.
I mean, they both have in common that they've embarrassed Colby Covington, but like, I think like, I would have loved to see, like, I mean, as much as Sean Brady, just determining what was already established about Leon Edwards, needed to happen. Like, I would have loved to see Buckley fight Leon.
Yeah, that'd be a pretty cool fight. Interesting, but, styles.
Yeah, it's
probably
just
get
like,
knocked out though.
Yeah,
probably get chinned.
See that, and that would be an interesting. Or Morales, or against Carlos Prates or Morales, somebody who like knocks people out.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Yeah, now that'd be an interesting one.
Yeah.
Luckily, he's in a trajectory where that won't happen for a little while.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, after Buckley takes out Usman, it's the new generation of welterweights that are bottlenecked now.
Yeah.
Like, and that, I mean, Shavkat's already beaten Ian Gary. Ian Gary already beat Prates, but like, you have Morales, you have Sean Brady, you have Joaquin Buckley after this fight.
Talking about my generation. Yes, sir.
Dude, the Who, man. Like, which one of them was supposedly like undercover investigating shit in Thailand? They caught him with a hard drive full of Carlos Prates.
I see.
You see what I'm getting at? Yeah, that's a true story. That guy. Yeah, seriously, who was that? Like, you of all people should know this. Roger Waters.
I have no idea.
Just look up the Who. The Who band member. Like,
Pete Townsend was investigated in 2003
Pete Townsend
as part of Operation Ore. Oh my.
Yeah, dude.
That is
sorry to ruin your
well, I mean, they were all some Rigos in the 1970s,
See, I don't know about that. Like, I mean,
quite a few.
Roman Polanski definitely, but like,
there were the groupies though that hung out at the shows, and
Yeah, there's that Straight Hat Blues by the Rolling Stones. Where there's literally a bar that's like, I can see that you're 15 years old, but I don't want your ID. Shit was right in plain sight. Dude, you know about the UK? Jimmy Savile, right? Was this guy? He was top of the pops. Was like this show. He was like this beloved national treasure. Jimmy Savile. There's a documentary about him.
That dude's fucking freak.
Yeah, and he was like the whole time. He was like, it was just
nasty work. That one documentarian guy who interviewed him for like days has to be like one of the bravest souls ever.
Why?
Interviewed him at his house and like hung out.
When he was almost dead. Yeah. He still died, and his funeral was televised on the BBC with these people weeping and everything. And like, and then everything. It's like the guy went to his grave, a national treasure, never faced any repercussions.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Who was the interviewer who talked?
I don't know about those UK folks. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm joking. It's a mixed bag. No, it isn't actually. They're all nonsense. It's videos where
it was Louis Theroux who interviewed him, and he had I love Louis Theroux. He's a great interviewer, and he had the meme. My money don't jiggle jiggle, it fold. I want to make you wiggle wiggle for show.
Damn.
Got a new Fiat. You really got to see it.
Imagine like that guy has that quote on his tombstone, and like his children are like Nobel Prize winners, and like he's like real serious people, and they never go visit his grave because of that shit.
Yeah, terrible.
I mean, sorry to take things to a dark place, bro. Brian Wilson died.
Yeah, do better, Dad.
Yeah, word. All right. So let's close this on a wholesome note. I'm taking Buckley by bloody, brutal assault. Disturbing. Like more disturbing than remember, dude, who was the guy that it was a long time ago in the UFC? Black dude got his like right mid tibia of the shin bent completely. And Rogan was commentating, I stop the fight. And then, and then the guy got the shit repaired. He fought a few more times, lost, and then died in his 40s of like pneumonia or some weird. God, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I can't remember his name.
I can't remember his name, or who his opponent was. But that was. Trying to think of another dark UFC moment.
That's wholesome.
What's I mean, there's Jalen Turner beating up Bobby Green's corpse, but that dude, disturbing content, by the way, is a violation that will get this. That's one of the things I've learned in the in the shadow banning arena.
Dude, oh my God, you've made me obsessed with this, and I'm never gonna find the answer, and I know I never will. But I know exactly what you're talking about.
UFC fighter leg snapped in half, or not, or whatever. I mean, it was between the knee and ankle, but
leg snap.
I mean, just leg broken, bent.
Corey Hill.
Yeah. Corey, yep. Corey Hill. And then, dude, go to his Wikipedia article. Look at how he died. It was like some weird. He died kind of not like Sonny Liston mysterious death, but almost he died he was 44 or something.
Death. It was reported that Hill had died after suffering from sudden pneumonia. According to friend Jennifer Swift, he had been diagnosed several weeks prior. It was reported that he underwent a lung transplant, but it collapsed. It was also reported that Hill was placed on life support until his family ultimately made the decision to remove him. Uh, Despite his statement from the UFC, which claimed that Hill had died, his wife Lauren Hill later denied that he had died. She stated, "Hill is resting and still alive, and we're praying he makes a full recovery. My husband is fighting for his life. We want him in everyone's prayers." She would not comment on statements made earlier by Hill's close friends and other family members that he died. So,
Wow.
we got sort of a Ben Askren situation.
Dude, she poisoned them. She hit him with an unnecessary adrenaline shot, like Pulp Fiction. Collapsed that long.
Pull the Courtney Love.
Probably nothing. Yeah. Except there probably wasn't much paper to go around. She just no one bothered to look into.
She was just sick of it. The whole thing.
Nah. It was Florida, right? They didn't bother to check on that life insurance policy. She took it out literally the morning of her, whatever.
Yeah, thanks a lot, DeSantis.
What I'm getting at is that's how Leon Edwards goes out. Kamaru's gonna he's got his podcast with Henry Cejudo that's super terrible. Not as bad as Anthony Smith's, but Jesus. Yeah. I mean, and by the way, it's I say this having listened to.
It's such a bad state 12. That even Bilal's trying to give him ratings.
Oh, what he says? Yeah. Bilal. I mean, dude, Bilal gets a lot of shit, but when he, he's not wrong about your podcast.
I saw a tweet recently that said that Bilal's interview with Joe Rogan is the lowest viewed interview of the entire year.
Is that new? Wait, how old is that interview?
I literally just read it on Twitter.
No, I mean, yeah, but because I think the last fighter Rogan interviewed was Tapurian, huh?
Yes, but apparently the Bilal interview is the lowest episode of this whole show.
Yeah, I mean that's the whole show.
Not for the year.
Right.
Yeah.
You'd well, yeah, cause I mean, so many people hate on Bilal. I mean, which
doesn't do himself any favor.
The Leon Edwards fight, dude. He did what he had to do. Got Leon Edwards out of there, and then made room.
And then he showed off that Canelo boxing against JDM, right?
Dude, what a embarrassment that in that first round, that the takedown attempt in the first round, I knew it was over.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think Usman wins by soccer kicks and curb stomp.
Oh, you said Usman.
Yeah, I was joking. I think Buckley. Buckley soundly, but after winning every round, Buckley probably finishes Usman by TKO in the 4th or 5th round. I'll say.
Buckley throws out a teep kick and Usman catches it, and then he just spins in midair and just throws a back kick that knocks Usman out cold.
Yeah, or it's the welterweight Merab versus Cejudo, where Buckley carries Kamaru Usman on his shoulder. Can you imagine?
Honey, I'm home, and I brought meat.
I brought a man whose upper body is sculpted, with the and legs of Andrea Lee.
Yeah,
dude. So listen, all right. This is for Fight Night, Frankie, but also for you and everybody else. John Jones versus Aspinall will happen this November in Madison Square Garden. All right.
Okay. Well,
I'm not certain, but I'm almost certain to the point where I'm willing to make that statement with the confidence of an asshole right now.
Sign the petition, guys. Keep signing the petition.
Well, see, first of all, that petition is meaningless. It doesn't matter if it's 1.5 million signatures. What's Dana White gonna do? What's he gonna do? Cave into
segment of our?
Dude, he's invested so much money. It's no one wins if that fight doesn't happen, dude. Nobody wins. Jones doesn't win. Aspinall doesn't win. Dana White doesn't win. He cut a promo on John Jones. Dude, when I first saw that Jones is the GO promo, I thought it was about to be. I was like, okay, where's the Stipe part? Like, thinking it was a 309. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
no retirement package for Stipe, but Michelle Watterson, she should get one. Anthony Smith,
it's
you've got it,
Stipe.
pal.
Yeah, but Stipe's got that hero money for being a fireman, bro.
That's true. I guess that's
But,
retirement package every day with benefits.
So taking Ochoa, huh? Taking Ochoa. So what do we disagree on? We disagree on. So you're taking Rose. I'm taking Maverick.
Taking
you're
Ochoa. You're taking Durden. I'm taking
Durden.
Petrosky. You're taking Edmund.
And you're taking
Barcelos when you're taking Garbrandt.
So that's 5. And you're taking Phil Rowe, right?
Yeah.
Damn, 6 disagreements, Hank.
Yeah. We'll see, man.
Dude,
I think there's going to be a few frauds checked, in my opinion.
A few frauds checked.
Yes.
Well,
checked for fraudulent behavior.
I mean, honestly, it's like I would say that probably I would be going with more of like, well, not okay. So yeah, Miranda Maverick, if she lost, you could call that a fraud check. Same with I guess you could call under Loosa, like, but mainly it would be like Jose Ochoa is like he's the one in the position to be fraud check should he lose. Yeah. Dude, imagine if Buckley loses.
Hey, I'd be happy for Usman. He's been going through it, man.
I mean, really though, he's been going through it, getting criticized by Bilal for his less than
Yeah, and then he should have gotten a draw on short notice against Chimaev, and they just gave it to him. And then now he's just not had a fight since.
That's a weird. Everything about that fight was weird, though.
It was. That whole card was weird, to be honest. All the short notice replacements, it was like, I don't think we're ever going to see something like that ever again.
I mean, you say that, but like, look what
anything can happen.
Look what happened in the card
history
before
tends
last.
to rhyme. Yeah.
Yeah. Look what happened in the card before last, though, dude.
That's true.
Like, I mean,
last
that was God for Dustin.
Things falling apart. Yeah. UFC is 24/7 chaos. It's a circus, everybody. So strap in,
and
have some crackerjack.
People, I mean, look, man, like, it's like, yeah, but at the same time, I mean, you watched PFL tonight, right?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I mean, what was it? It was round. It was. There were. I mean, I was on the road like for most of it, but like Luciano losing, and who before that?
I predicted Shields beating Luciano.
No, yeah. I mean, I thought Shields would win too, but like just that fight, and I think was it the one right after? It's the exact same fight. Just like, grappler. I mean, Shields did style on him, like a bit.
He was pulling a monkey king on him, just grabbing that back like Aljo.
Who was I can't think of his name. Dagestani, I think. Who just did what everyone knew he would do.
Umlatov or Katbulayev? Umlatov, yeah. He got a first round knockout. He's been a decision merchant for a while. I was actually
I know. But it's like, I mean, dude, see a lot of those guys, dude, they who people criticize as like, just always just never finishing people. It's like they break through once and then it's
never again. Giving us a little bit of hope and then they just take it away,
Well, I was gonna say the opposite. although you're right, that does happen sometimes. I mean, that happened with Bellato, but I think Merab's got that. I mean, I was saying that going into the O'Malley fight, like, where it's like he not only is he gonna win, he will finish because he's got. It's like what else? I mean, just a more
he's already figured him
dominant.
out. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like but also it's like it's Merab, so he could do whatever. Like I firmly believe Merab can just do whatever he wants to his opponents.
Yeah, the EPO helps him out a ton. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but like, dude, honestly, it's like you're gonna say Merab's on EPO, who's to say O'Malley isn't made weight but more muscular.
Yeah, he's been caught before too.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, dude, and then Sandhagen's finished. Sandhagen, it's like, dude, like Merab just like it's like if Mike Tyson, instead of like just staring people down, just sort of like giggled, at the prospect of it's like people have lost before the fight begins. Sandhagen's no shot.
Yeah. Sandhagen's just making videos of himself. Hey, thank you. This was a great win from you. I'm really happy for you. And let's fight. Let's fight. Can I have a fight with you, please? Come on, I need one. That's
the fact that
presence.
The biggest test Merab has ever had was his. They really said the UFC did everything that they can do to somebody to make to basically set them up for failure. Like they stall out his title shot for years. Yeah. I mean, if you count
at the same time, he sort of chose to at the same time.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah. I mean,
he's my friend. Okay?
Yeah, but even so, it's like he was the rightful contender for a while Aljo was champion, and then O'Malley gets a layup title shot. That's another year.
Yeah,
he finally.
Yeah, they had their golden boy. Yeah.
Then he beats O'Malley, right? And they give him 4 months. 4 months. 4 months to recover and train for the only guy in the division that had a chance.
You still beat him. Yeah. Even with a destroyed back, we still recovered and beat his ass.
Dude, it's like, it's and Shavkat with a broken ankle submitting Stephen Thompson. It's like, those two fighters are.
Some of those dudes are just fucking zombies, man.
I mean, also, dude, Oralby got robbed against Rebecca too. Like,
that was a great fight.
He wrote. Dude, I don't give a fuck how swollen his eye was after that first round. He won that first round.
Yeah, that his eye was so enlarged. I felt I could take my golf club and just swing it and try to get a hole in one with it.
Yeah. Do you actually play golf?
I do every once in a while, actually. Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry to say this. I'm proud that I've never played golf.
Trust me, I get ever since I watched that George Carlin bit. I was like, yeah, golf courses aren't necessary. We should just destroy them all so we can have some affordable housing.
Yeah, or just more like more arena, fight arenas.
Yeah, that's
government subsidized
more blood
promotions.
Sport. Yeah. Just a bunch of Apex everywhere.
Yo, check out this Fargo. Like, it's
yeah. Oh, the rat is.
Everything's mooses and shit.
Yeah, that looks reasonable. Yeah.
All right, bro. Thanks for the guest spot.
No problem.
This might be the longest prediction video. This might be longer than the long one I did with Noodle.
Seems like
I'm gonna enjoy the continental breakfast and
sit at a table if you'd like.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, right at the end.
But anyway, Yo, you said you're streaming.
Yes, I'm going to be streaming a UAE Warriors 60, I
Nice.
believe it is, tomorrow morning. Probably going to be a little bit later than the start time because I actually got to get some sleep after this. And then hopefully I'll have a UFC Fight Night Fight Companion on Saturday as well. So Fight Companions are back in Hank's Warzone. And if you guys enjoyed my breakdown of each and every one of these fights, I do a weekly series of Hank's live breakdowns, both mental and MMA of the UFC cards. So if you enjoyed this video, check out my channel. It's Hank's Warzone. Subscribe if you want. And yeah, thank you for having me, Giuliano. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Excellent, dude. Excellent plug. Well done. Seriously.
Yeah, we got good banter,
I-
man. There's a reason this went 2 hours and 44 minutes.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, I mean, it's like, dude, anytime, like, I'm traveling, and so I do a prediction video with, like, someone who has a channel, they always go long. But yeah, dude, like, all right. So now I gotta timestamp this
Gray
bitch.
hairs, man. Seriously.
What?
I feel like I grew a few gray hairs after this thing, like Obama after 8 years.
Well, I mean, it'll all be worth it, right? For your, if you get that next belt on topology.
Yeah, exactly. I'm looking for my purple belt 0.2. Yeah, so
Dude. Topology. Anyway, man, take it easy.
you too, Giuliano.
And all right, I'm gonna end this on this note. Everybody should really honestly like just fucking accept the fact that UFC Apex cards are good on average. It's enough. And
Hey.
so sick of hearing people bitch. Like, what's your second choice for? I mean, Isha would be able to defeat this argument, but no one else. Like,
Yeah.
what he says was, what's your second choice for MMA on Saturday?
Yeah, he's
But,
got a million choices for that.
Yeah, no, he really does. But handwritten notes for Ryzen and everything. Yeah, subscribe to the City Life Project as well.
These
Hank's
Apex
Warzone.
cards have more finishes than the pay-per-views.
Is that true? On average?
I mean, not on average, but like you'll have a pay-per-view that's like, oh wow, 2 submissions on the whole card. And then meanwhile, Apex knockout, submission, knockout,
Dude,
knockout.
Morales Burns was like so many finishes, but dude,
we watched that together.
Yeah, Fight Companion, yeah.
Fight
Dude,
Companion.
fucking, there was the finishes on. Dude, they need to bring back more. They need to bring back knockout of the night. They need to bring back sub of the night.
Yeah,
more performance bonuses.
Fights of the night, taking away prospects' money.
Yeah. Who was the one? Joshua Venn didn't get a performance bonus.
Bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, and now he's, dude. It's like, how did he beat? Yeah, I mean, I don't want to go. I don't want to make this a 3-hour video, but like, oh my god, dude. He's, he shouldn't have stepped up for a cop against Royval because, dude, I mean, over 5 rounds, there's no way Royval doesn't get him down.
Crap. Justice
Actually,
for Venn. He got justice. He's going to be taking on Royval. Hopefully, he wins.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. I hope, I hope against all odds for the same thing, but it'll go how it goes. But we know how Kamaru versus Buckley is gonna go. It's gonna be like when MVP flying knee like shattered the face of that one dude.
Irreversible damage.
Yeah, Kamaru's gonna have to do the podcast with like that time Mailson had that like mask on. It's like Kamaru's gonna look like a chimpanzee attack victim after this fight.
Thank you for reminding me of that. I needed a laugh there.
But yeah, dude, it's gonna be terrifyingly violent. I think Paul Craig might die. And like
First death in the octagon.
well, I mean, Bruno Silva, middleweight Bruno Silva was I mean, is there news on his I mean, he seemed like he was a vegetable, like being carried out.
I mean,
Do you remember that?
His career is definitely dead.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, and yet Chris Weidman got to retire with like a ceremony after blinding him.
Yeah. What a good
Mhm.
guy. The good karma always catches up to the good ones.
Yeah, that's why Eric Anders finished him. Another goated pick by him. But all right, dude. Yeah, take it easy, man. Get some sleep.
too, Julian.
UAE Warriors. Peace.
Peace.